Hello and welcome to the Stoop, home of Harlequins and home of the Quins Cup. It is under 15s and under 16s boys finals nights in the Quins Cup. And guess what? Hove have made both of them. Hove RFC excelling in the younger age groups in the Quins Cup. Up first, it's Hove against Sutton and Epsom, kicking off in a few moments' time, 6:15 that one. And stay with us afterwards because we will have that under 16 final for you straight away, which will be Hove versus Esher. And I was about to say, that one at 8 o'clock by the way, I was about to say it's a lovely sunny day here in southwest London. But just as I was about to say it, the rain has started to come down and it's only going to increase. So from what has been summery conditions over the weekend and into Monday, we are now into proper rugby conditions, you might say. Now, the Quins Cup has been going for a few years now, and it's also been going for a few weeks now in terms of the finals. You might remember a couple of weeks back we had the girls finals. Under 15s girls finals were what kicked it all off, with Barnes winning that competition before back-to-back championships for Wimbledon, beating old Rygations in both the under 16 final and the under 18s finals. Now this week attention turns to the boys and tonight's double header, and then tomorrow night, Tuesday the 28th of April, 7 p.m. kickoff, we are back again for the under 18s Quins Cup final, the Colts Quins Cup final, Dorking against Cobham. That will be a 7 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night. So it has all been going on here in the Stoop, in the shadows of Twickenham Stadium, which is just off to my left-hand side over here, where so much exciting stuff has been happening over the last few weeks in the Women's Six Nations, and so much will be coming with the Prem final being hosted there in a few weeks' time as well. But shortly we will see the teams coming out, and if I bring my camera with me, we will just be able to spot down here our trophy that we are playing for this evening in both games, the fabled Quins Cup, which is being used across all of our finals. And a shout out, by the way, to our officials today who are part of the Young Match Officials programme, which is supported by both the London Society of Referees and by Surrey Rugby. Some young teenage referees out there learning their craft, just as our players are out there as well. Right, Hove and Sutton and Epsom have had fantastic runs towards this point in this under-15s competition. They topped their respective pools. Hove then winning a 22-21 game against Wimbledon in what was effectively a semi-final for them to get them into this final. Sutton and Epsom, meanwhile, what a fantastic club that is, as well as Hove, had a fantastic win over Cobham to seal their place in this final with a game to spare. So they are a red-hot side coming into this one, but Hove, looking for double success, will no doubt fancy their chances as well. Now we're waiting for our teams to come out. The referees are in the tunnel and ready to go, but we are awaiting our players. It's just about to walk in shot. It is Pendy, who is part of Surrey Rugby Club, who Surrey County Rugby, I should say, who have been organising these superb Quins Cup finals. It has been the most wonderful competition. And over the course of the next 3 games, 2 tonight, as I say, and 1 tomorrow, we are due for some spectacular action. You may remember some of these finals have just been superb. The under-18s Colts final just a couple of years ago, a draw that was won with a kick in the last moment of the game. Rosslyn Park winning the title as the first try scorers. This tournament really does go down to the wire across the board. And these teams, of course, competing all throughout the year across a range of competitions, including those National Cup competitions. So they have been busy, busy indeed. But this, for so many of these players, represents the final time they'll all play together as one squad, particularly actually when we look ahead tomorrow to that Colts competition, where they really will be one team for the very final time. But if we have a little look off to my left-hand side, our teams are now in the tunnel. Hove and Sutton and Epsom have made their way into the tunnel. They are moments away from kickoff here at the home of Harlequins, the Stoop, one of the finest rugby venues in all the world. A pristine playing surface. That rain I spoke about is starting to ease off as well. We could be in for an absolute riot. Remember, stay with us after this, because at 8 o'clock, Hove in action again in the under-16s final against Esher. But now it's up to commentary, where Wilf Kemsley is joined by Craig Rogers to guide us through the under-15 Quins Cup boys final, Hove versus Sutton and Epsom.
Thank you, Angus. Welcome then as the sun continues to beam through the clouds beyond us. We hope the rain has passed as we prepare for a fantastic game of under-15s rugby between Hove and Sutton and Epsom. Both top their pool to head straight to this Quins Cup under-15s final, and here are the two teams. Well, we'll start with Hove then, the Blues, who are looking for back-to-back victories tonight. Jude Smith starts in the front row alongside Harry Brown and the captain, George Hodges. Archie Ruffles trades for 4 for 24 alongside Ollie Rourke. Talbot, Goodridge and Asaf, an incredibly strong back row with George Hampson and Hugh Llewellyn outside at 9 and 10. Christoph Stopwar and Jacob Schmidt-Ueli start in the centres with Field on one wing, Schuff on the others and Rogers at full-back. There's 4 Quins in the Hove back line. Finberg, Skinner, Greer and Sator look to add some volume in the second half. So what then for the black and white of Sutton Epsom, new boys to this division, but they've made it to the final. Targ O'Brien starts in the front row alongside Ronnie Swan and the captain Arthur Channing, both skippers in the front row today. Dominic Berger and Rafe Young in the second row with Colin Lipscomb, Sam Blackburn and Ben Doyle in the back row. Ethan Lund starts with George Beckett at fly half, Smith and Newton at the centres, Bailey on one thing, Salmon on the other and Felix Green at fullback, a keen cricketer as well. Mason Bryant on the bench with Shane Russell and Tom Ashworth. Big shout out to Ed Kimber and Isaac Davies, both on the bench. Suffered long-term injuries this season, but they've been with the squad throughout. And that gives me just enough time to introduce my co-commentator, Craig Rogers. Craig, well, Hove through and through with 3 boys across the various age groups, but your own Arthur starts at fullback tonight, and you've seen a lot of Hove this season, and at this under-15s level, well, they're a really talented outfit.
Well, we're coming off the back of winning the Sussex League yesterday, and we're hoping to make the double this evening. So here we go.
Kick off by the blue scrum-hatted George Hampson, whose own father, Ben, was a former England under-18 international, and knocked off the kick-off. So a good start for the maroon and blue. The high ball under pressure. Look at the chase from fly half Hugh Llewellyn of King's School Hove. Been part of the club since under 7s, and that is a feature of both Hove teams tonight. A lot of these boys have been at Hove for an awful long time.
Yeah, we've seemed to have attracted a lot of talent from the Brighton Hove area. They come and they stay. It's been such a good building outfit, and they've joined year on year by new boys wanting to join the squads. So a real fantastic squad. We're running 3 teams this year, which is a really good boom for us, and we hope to do again next season with more boys joining.
No ref mic this evening for safeguarding purposes, so but it is all 3 referees are part of the Quins development pathway, the Young Referees Association, as it's a first chance for Hove to attack ball in hand, skipping out the dangerous Christoph Stopwar, and then great charge down, but a wonderful pick up from Rogers, who manages to find a bit of space out wide for Jude Schuff. Up over the 10-metre, good recovery from Hove, but a wonderful turnover from Sutton and Epsom, who have certainly brought some decent support here tonight. What a hit that is from Jacob Schmidt-Ueli. Another player who's been with the side since under 7, slightly high in the referee's opinion. And there's no advantage coming, they'll have the pen, and you hear the roar from Sutton and Epsom. They're certainly not a quiet lot over on the far side, Craig.
Absolutely, the tempo off the pitch is matching it on it, and if this is going to be the game, we're in for an absolute corker this evening.
We were talking about Sutton and Epsom. This is their sort of first season moving across into the Surrey leagues. Hove themselves made that trip from Sussex to Surrey to compete in this Quins Cup. It is attracting some really talented under-15 sides.
It's amazing, and the boys have really enjoyed the challenge this season coming into the Surrey, and just seeing the quality that is in around Surrey has been a real boom. Their game's lifted, and looking at Sutton's, theirs is definitely too by the look of it.
Line out. Uncontested at this under-15 level in our 30-minute halves that we played today. So collected by Rafe Young, and they look to go to the maul, but it's sacked by Ollie O'Rourke, an absolute giant at under-15 level. Good line speed from Talbot, one of the many Harlequins in and around this Hove side, and then stripped, and Jude Smith comes away with it. The Brighton College prop, who might look to be held up here by Sutton and Epsom. Hove desperate to rip it away, and they have managed to free possession. And Hove have done brilliantly there, Craig, to keep it alive.
He's absolutely ferocious on the ball, this lad, Rob Talbot. He will crash all day long for you and get the ball moving.
The delivery from Hampson, and first carry of the day in midfield for their two hard-hitting centres. Penalty advantage coming. First carry of the day as well for Mantanois Asaf, who is another Harlequin, but another player who's been at Hove since under-7s.
Yep, and our Blues player of the season. He's been absolutely rocking it all season, giving it everything he's got every game.
And Sutton Epsom player just takes a tumble over the Harlequins flag as touch is found. It's a big bustling carry, and he is caught high just about by Noah Smith. Harlequin on Harlequin in the middle of the park. So a chance for the uncontested lineup, which will be thrown by the skipper, Gabriel Hodges. His brother Michael's the water boy today. Hodges, under the roar of the low-flying Jets here in Twickenham. Flung away by Llewellyn. Step off the right boot from Stopwar. Christian Stopwar up to the 22. So much power in his carries. Step on the outside, Schmidt-Uili through the back door for Schaff. Now they're looking to strip it away, but some fantastic support in there to drive Schaff onwards. And now a bit of a one-up runner in the forward pack, which Sutton and Epsom deal with comfortably with a double shot. And another huge hit comes herring down on Hove here. Hampson, Llewellyn. Brilliant carry back on the inside from Asaf. Asaf puts in the fend. He's still going here. Finds an offload for Smith. They free the hands again. Harry Brown. Again, he gets it away. Schaff. Hove so happy to free the ball here. Eventually it goes loose, but they'll have the penalty. And Craig, that is remarkable from Hove, the way that they keep the ball alive off the deck.
They've definitely come to play this evening. Sometimes they're a bit slow out the blocks with getting the ball moving, and it really shows when they do, and that's how they really win the games and the seasons. It's their fitness and their movement will show out, and if they keep playing like this, I'm sure it's only going to be a matter of time before we go over.
Just off their feet there as they look to steal it. In fact, Dominic Berger could have come in at the side as well, to be fair, so the referee had plenty of options. The Harlequin second row. Uncontested line out, ruffles the target. Broken into the side, of course, with 3 under-15s teams to pick from. Asaf always finds an inside shoulder. Stopwar. Straight over the ball goes Sutton and Epsom. It's a great effort, but he just can't keep his hands on the pill as Hampson whips it wide.
Move it, let's go, boys.
Lovely tip pass in the forward. An acceleration from Schaff. We'll have Hove over for the opener.
Excellent movement, and over Jude goes. Brilliant. His turn of pace is outstanding at times.
Well, this is brilliant hands from the forwards. Ollie O'Rourke, Gabe Hodges. They ship it on here. And in the end, this is the 2-on-1 that's perfectly executed by the captain to put Schaff away. As you said, great acceleration from Jude Schaff.
It's brilliant to see them connecting so early, working the ball through the forwards in and out through the backs to finish. Great effort, boys.
First score of the day, Hove in front, with the 2 extras to be added by Hampson. Not an easy kick right over on that 15-metre line. Certainly has the legs. And it's a great angle as well from Hampson. Brilliant boot from the scrum half. But it's Jude Schaff who has the opening score. Again, it's a great 2-on-1. Front row involved, but Schaff, so much pace there to bank on. Kick-off to come from Sutton and Epsom, and to be fair to the Black and Whites, they've not had any of the possession so far today, Craig. They've done really well to keep a hold of it, Hove, once they won it first time up.
Yeah, they've really dug in hard, and Sutton are putting in a good show first for defence.
But it was in fact knocked on rather clearly from our angle here. We'll have another look at it. It's a high hanging kickoff. And it's just on the regather there that the referee spotted the knock-on, not from the initial effort, which is what upset Rafe Young. They will have a scrum. And the first of the day. This will be a real battle, Craig, even at under 15s level.
Yeah, absolutely. They're all going to put it in now, and we're going to see how it stands up.
Oh, it's a real bit of back and forth, and in the end, Hove get the shove on. It's whipped away by Hampson. And again, a fantastic turn of pace to get Hove over that gain line. One-handed carry from Jude Smith. And the sun has shone down again here, almost blindingly on this near side, as Hove move it into the sunshine. Hampson to this near edge. Big miss pass from Asaf, but looking to move too quickly there this time. Jacob Schmidt-Uwili. And Christoph Stopwar, just a miscommunication there between the two centres.
Yeah, almost looking to move it too quickly there, and they need to keep their heads about them and settle back into how they've been playing so far.
Cardinal Newman and a Brighton College lad operating in midfield. A really great rivalry in recent years between those two institutions, as Newman have continued to improve in the A setup. Of course, champions at Roslin Park of the Plate this season. And a lot of these lads may well be heading on to the likes of Cardinal Newman for sixth form if they want to keep their rugby at the highest level. But such a standard at club level, though, is great to see, because these gents have come from all over. Shoreham Academy, Peachhaven, Hurst and King's School, as well as Brighton College and Cardinal Newman, all represented in the starting lineup for Hove.
Yeah, it's really good, and there's such a good depth of breadth of boys playing at different schools, which is great.
Almost an unbelievable take from Stopwar. Instead, Sutton and Epsom have it, but Stopwar puts in a big shot in response. Dug out really well by Ethan Lund. And it's a nice carry up beyond the 10 by Ronnie Swan, the Harlequins hooker. Again, the forwards pop up in midfield. It's a wonderful shot by Llewellyn, but quick ball and then chipped ahead by Sutton Epsom. And Rogers has to turn. Here he is, Rogers. Only player not to take part in that County Cup final that was played yesterday for Hove, because he was at an athletics competition instead.
Yeah, he was all the way down in Somerset competing in a national octathlon.
An excellent box kick, but Sutton and Epsom will look to return. Chop tackle. Exactly when it needed to be from Luke Goodridge. Sutton and Epsom look a little bit narrow, but it's a brilliant up front carry to get them on the front foot, but a huge turnover from Jude Smith, who pops up with the ball.
He'll be absolutely raring to get that off quickly. He's an absolute Duracell bunny, that boy. We have to slow him down all the time.
Sutton and Epsom a little bit short-handed on this near side. Chance maybe for Field to run with ball in hand for the first time. Field back into traffic. Hampson. Hove have won the ball back finally after a long period without it. Took them a fair few phases to challenge Sutton and Epsom, but Goodridge almost breaking through.
Good solid work from the forwards there, running straight and drawing them in. Let's hope it gets some space for us on the outside.
Soft hands to find Asaf, who does get it away. Here's Stopwar, Schmidt-Uwili. Dancing footwork from Schmidt-Uwili, and then he gets his head down and breaks for another tackle. Still going, Schmidt-Uwili for the corner. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Good work, Jacob. Excellent run.
Jacob Schmidt-Uwili with an unbelievable finish. Out of a phone box, first of all, to break the first tackle. And then Sutton and Epsom just have no idea what to do with him. At every stage, they thought we brought him down. There's a decent effort. And then there's two men on him. He shrugs them off with a handoff, ducks under the third tackle, steps around the fourth, and beats the fullback to finish.
Absolutely blistering dance there. He's absolutely rocked their socks off. Brilliant work, boys. Well done.
This is a ridiculous score from Jacob Schmidt-Uwili, the Brighton College boy. He might be starring at BC now, but he's a Hove lad since under sevens. And the Harlequin centre scores at the Twickenham stoop. Kick from right on the other touchline now for Hampson, who slotted the first, and we've got a great view of this one, which just isn't going to curl enough in the end for the scrum half. But Hove lead by 12. Jacob Schmidt-Ueli with perhaps one of the tries of the season at under-15s level.
He's just off the back of a very successful sevens tournaments. He played up for Brighton College, so he's been playing a year up in the sevens, and it's certainly showing the power and strength he's putting in there.
Practically beat 7 men on his way through. And Hove double their advantage.
Let's just hope they start making it a bit easier for George, and we'll have a few in front of the sticks.
Well, Sutton and Epsom have got plenty of time still to turn this one around as we approach the midway point in the first half. The final has absolutely flown by so far. George Beckett hangs it up high and not very handsome. It's a good take. It was a brilliant kick, and now Llewellyn, and they look to go wide off first phase here. Hove up the jumper from Hodges, who breaks the first tackle. A little bit out of options there. The contact taken. Sutton and Epsom so quick over the ball. It's a brilliant turnover.
They're moving up so quick in defence there. They're giving them no time to breathe at all. It's a good effort from Sutton there to win it back.
Noah Smith got right over it. He's had a go a couple of times already. The Harlequin inside centre. And of course, with uncontested lineouts, the corner is so tempting. Good nudge from Beckett. Well, Sutton and Epsom are one of the oldest rugby clubs in the country, founded in 1881. They first played Saracens in the 1883-84 season, and they beat Stade Francais at home in 1901. They're also one of the largest. They've got 30 teams with 1,200 active players across their age groups. But another pump here against Hove. But a chance for them to threaten for the first time. This is the best attacking position they've had. The line out goes loose, but can't be contested. So they drop onto it. Down the short side they go. Lovely tip pass. Lipscomb over the score. Now they just got a little bit short-handed, Hove on the short side, and it was well spotted.
Yeah, they saw that. We'd loaded up on the open side there, and they took full advantage of that, running it in.
Well, the lifting pod were none the wiser, but they stayed on this near side and ended up becoming the men to form most of the overlap. You can see Bailey just came forward. In the end, he wasn't needed. Lipscomb crashes over. It's a brilliant carry by the back rower. It was swept up by Blakeburn originally. With Mike Blakeburn, of course, in the coaching staff as well. 200 caps in the championship for Esher for him. And George Beckett just takes out the flag, golf style, to take this nudge. Well, it's a brilliant effort, but it will just strike the post and glance wide. So unfortunate. I mean, the standard of kicking on show at this age group is unbelievable, Craig.
Yeah, absolutely. That was such a clean strike of the ball, and, you know, he deserved more there for that effort.
And here's that carry again from Lipscomb, even caught the cameraman out. Such quick thinking from the base of the scrum. Kick off then for Hove, who concede for the first time, and Sutton and Epsom are back in the game. Good take off the kickoff, hunted down straight away by this busy Hove pack. As that jubilant Sutton and Epsom support on the far side continues to roar. Clearance kick from George Beckett, straight down the throat of Arthur Rogers, over his head. Rogers can't get there, and it's been nicked away by Sutton and Epsom, who are going to race through. Jacob Salmon puts it down under the sticks.
What an absolute blistering start from them. They've absolutely picked our pocket there.
Salmon has come out of nowhere to put serious pressure on the back line here. It's a good kick into a bit of green space. I mean, it dipped just so dangerously in front of Rogers. And Salmon is absolutely electric. Both wingers are sprinters in their spare time. Jacob Salmon showed his raw pace there to beat Rogers to the ball. And a kick under the sticks to level it up. What a final we have for you here, our first of two today in the Quins Cup. George Beckett makes no mistake, right under the post to equalise. And Salmon scores. Well, let's have another look at this here. Oh, it's so unfortunate. It bounces twice. First right in front of Rogers and spins over his head, and then the second bounce sends it back the other way. Well, we know that old adage, Craig, you never know what's going to happen when that rugby ball bounces.
You never let it bounce, and that boy knows that.
It just dipped so viciously in front of him.
Just died a death in front of him, yeah.
Penalty, though, for Hove off the kickoff. Brilliant turnover, and off goes Schmidt-Ueli. His offload is loose, but it's been wrestled away by Mantanois Asaf. Good bridge. Good line speed from Sutton and Epsom in response. Hove's all of a sudden back to where they started. Nice offload from Smith. O'Rourke. Slow to ground. Hampson. Step from Talbot right before the line. Then an offload for the skipper Hodges, who looks to find another pass. There's a hand in there from Sutton and Epsom, but there was a penalty advantage coming, offside.
It's going to take this opportunity, slow it down, regroup, and get themselves back on this. Can't afford to let Sutton into this game. They've just scored too quick on the bounce there.
They had a long road to this final, and they have drawn already this season, Hove, with Chobham, 14 apiece in the pool stages. It required an absolute epic against old Wimbledonians to top the group. They beat them 21-22 and ended up heading through on points difference after big wins against Farnham and Guildford. It's a tough setup, this Quins under-15s comp, because you have to finish top of this 5-team group, otherwise you're not heading to the final here at the Stoop.
Yeah, there's some tough breaks for some of the boys who've put in the effort in all season, and it comes down to moments like this, doesn't it, really?
I think that's an early change for Sutton and Epsom, which we'll get to you once we can spot it. Felix Green has just moved into the centres from fullback, but again, updates when we have them. For now, it's a very important line out for Hove, who have let the final slip. 10 minutes to go before half-time. Cleanly collected from the uncontested line out, and Asaf off the base. Looks to break through, and what a shot in response. It's rare that Asaf's been put down like that this season. Comes loose, Hodges looks to chip it through, collected by Sutton and Epsom, and they have just about survived. And it's a great break by Channing to set it up, and it's another brilliant offload. Sutton and Epsom now up to the 10-metre. Stripped immediately back by Hove. The work on the floor is outstanding. Another turnover on the deck.
The tempo of this game so far has been outstanding, back and forth.
Mason Bryant, who's come onto the field in the pack for Sutton and Epsom, charged down from George Beckett, who made that big hit which got this turnover started, and then a shrug off. Asaf hunts down his man. Sutton and Epsom now will have a chance to clear. We'll have a chance to catch our breath, Craig.
Oh.
Well, I think there's a player down here for Hove. Well, actually, we're going to have to rethink this here. It's going to be a scrum just outside the 22. There must have been a knock-on in one of those turnovers that was spotted by one of the two ARs that we have today. A good spot by the refereeing team in there, and it is Hove, crucially, who are going to feed it.
Certainly doing an excellent job to keep up with this. I mean, we've got a perfect view up here, and I was none the wiser.
Couple of big shots in there. The ball went loose a few times. Asaf off the base, and you can't give him space to accelerate. Asaf through the first tackle. Brought down inside the 22. Hampson off the deck. Llewellyn. Ruffles. Finds his finds his back row partner, Talbot, I should say, who then picks out Stockwar. Still the hands are loose. Hampson's come round the corner. It's a little tip on to the edge. Rogers weaving his way through, and he scores. Well, try Gibbon. And I'm not sure that they've noticed on that far side. Eventually Hove have clocked on. It's brilliant handling here. Round the corner comes George Hampson to keep the pace alive. Collects the offload. Soft hands again. And it's an excellent finish from Rogers, inside and out. Well, what a recovery from that devilish kick just a few moments ago, Craig.
He's starting to pay it back piece by piece.
It's a big hit by Ben Doyle to stop Stockwar. Llewellyn, great hands. Just winding his way back on the inside to beat the try scorer Jacob Salmon. What a battle it is between those two already.
And I think this is going to continue all game with these two. They've got some absolute speedsters on the outside there, and we're going to see some fantastic action from them.
It's a great effort, but it's just short from George Hampson. But Arthur Rogers is on the board. Still had a lot to do here after being put through by Llewellyn. But we've seen Sutton and Epsom respond already today.
Yeah, this one looks like it is going to go all the way, and these boys just need to stay alive to this. We've already been caught on the restart, so they need to be on their game now.
You reckon Beckett's going to put this one about half a mile in the air? They're going to have to let air traffic control know about that one, as it's just about regathered. Down goes Talbot.
He's just giving them so much time to flood the defence up with that high ball. It's something they've obviously worked on, and it's working well.
Well, there was a forward pass in the midfield, but we'll come back for a Hove penalty. The Sutton and Epsom man just not rolling away quick enough, and they're on the wrong side of the referee's whistle at the moment. Well, touch found, even if it's not as far down the field as Hove would have liked it. Still a good platform at this level. And the sun is setting beautifully in the distance, but it is right in our eye line at the moment on this far side. It just dips behind the cloud for a moment as Hodges prepares for another line out. Another player who's been with the squad since he was an under-7. Hove through and through. Down for Hampson. Llewellyn just about gets it away under real pressure from Blackburn. Schmidt-Willie on the spin. And then pumps it wide for Llewellyn. Quick tip, Rogers accelerates. An important shot just shy of the halfway line. Talbot bounces up into no man's land. Excellent carry.
Oh, lovely.
And off goes Hodges through the hole. Asaf gets it to the edge for Field, who beats two men on the inside. Wonderful run from Field. Big handoff. Field through the hole. Just the full back to feet. Field weaves onto the outside. Yes! Unbelievable pace from James Field.
He is an absolute bull on the ball, that boy. The pace on him to come back inside like that and fend off was outstanding.
What a finish from Field. We've seen two absolute blinders down the short side. And this is another one. Steps around the first two challengers, and then as half a gap opens up from the handoff, as Green comes across, Field just floats outside him, as if there's some kind of force field around the fullback. Asaf does well to draw in two men as well, but in the end, Field beat both of them anyway. Just a bit upright from Ethan Lund. Does well to get it down after a big shot comes in as well. But this should be knocked over by Hampson. But Hove 24-12 in front. Two more on the board for the Blues. And they have James Field to thank for restoring a bit of order here.
Fantastic solo effort from there, and I think he almost, as you're right, got caught unawares there by the other guy coming in. He was tracking the original player, and he did well to get it over and on.
And the winger from Hurstpere Point is on the board. Now all three of the back three amongst the scorers.
He also puts in a very good shift at number 2, James, as well when he's needed. So a real utility player, as you can see the strength on him there.
A hooker that quick. Absolutely terrifying. I think another enforced change from Sutton and Epsom. And unfortunately, it's the excellent George Beckett who is leaving the field for now.
Just shows you the tempo these boys are playing at, and the effort and the hard game they're putting in. It's a real shame to see.
And Noah Smith will deputise with ball in hand. It's a winding kick onto this left-hand side, but well collected. Tolbert, a good carry. Hampson, Hodges beats the first and brushes off the second, and Hodges up to the 10. Good momentum for Hove here. Hampson, Llewellyn, Asaf steps back off the right and wheels his way through.
Another great hard straight run. He's just drawing players in to give the others space. It's good to see.
Tolbert, big double shot on Gabe Hodges. Dummy from Hampson, almost through. Picks out Smith, who's still going here. Smith shrugs off his man and then bumps off another. Llewellyn, what a hit in midfield to slow down the traffic. Noah Smith looking to get over the ball again, but he's just about beaten to it. Hodges, Smith
over here if they move it.
Front row operating on the wing, but the offload is loose. He was just looking to swing it away to Schmidt Ueli, but the tackle came in. And it's knocked on, but great shape from Hove. I mean, they've gone from their own 22 to the opposition's 22 in about 6 or 7 phases.
Just that ability to build pressure with the speed and the hard running. It just fell short there with the offload. Probably trying to do a little bit too much on the ball there, but he's such a ferocious ball carrier. He just wants to hit people all day long.
Another chance for the Hove scrum. I think there's a change that needs to be made in order for this scrum to go ahead. Mason Bryant already on and into the front row. Still Tiger Bryan and the captain Arthur Channing in there. There will be Ethan Lund to feed the scrum. Felix Green is shifted up to first receiver. Stable scrum from Sutton and Epsom.
Yeah, good solid one there.
Green. Smith puts boot to ball and finds grass beyond the fullback here, and it might pop up for Sutton and Epsom. It has been regathered by the black and white, and look at the pace again from Jacob Salmon. You cannot give him half a yard. Salmon through to score another.
He is absolutely electric on the ball, that boy.
Big kick from Noah Smith. Finds grass in behind the back of the Hove lineup. And again, the bounce is so unfortunate. And Salmon gets away.
Couldn't have been better for him, that bounce. Absolutely pitched up into his hands there on full tilt.
Pinged to the front left of where Salmon was off to.
Couldn't have placed it better if he'd had it passed off to him. What a fantastic kick.
Great pick-up and a brilliant finish on the outside. First kick of the day for Noah Smith, whose boot set up the score. Wide for Sutton and Epsom, so they remain 24-17 behind as we approach half-time. Second score for Jacob Salmon. And once he regathers, 3 men looking to hunt him down. Ethan Greer, the versatile back, is onto the field for Hove as well in the meantime. Picked out by Smith. And this time he keeps ball in hand and flashes it wide. Sutton and Epsom keeping up the jumper as they look to reach that 10-metre box kick from Ethan Lund. Plenty of distance on it. Greer, first time with ball in hand. Skips through the first. Nice footwork onto the outside. Greer looks to find Schmidt-Wheely, who is up in the air to regather. Flicks it out for Smith. Llewellyn, half a hole. Thunderous shot. Really big hit that Llewellyn has worn well, and I think the penalty will be given for that high tackle. And a decision to be made here. They're right in front of the sticks. I think George Hampson fancies it.
I think this is sensible at this point. It's such a flip-flopping game that we'll just keep the board ticking over. Such a good opportunity for them here in front of the sticks, you're right.
This should take us through to half-time as well. To go 10 points up in this Quins Cup final. George Hampson, who's been great off the tee so far today. As quiet as the Stoop's ever been. Off the post, and we'll play on here with Sutton and Epsom regather it behind their own try line. How unfortunate is that? Twice it's hit the upright so far today, once for either team, Craig.
Unbelievable, you just couldn't make it up, could you?
And Sutton and Epsom are keen to play here with moments to go at the end of the first half. Smith with a great run. What a grab in that far channel. It was such an ambitious pass. And all they have to show for it is contact on the 22. Noah Smith taking control. Big bumping run from Dominic Berger. Straight through the breakdown come Hove. Penalty advantage for a hint of a high tackle a phase ago, so Ethan Lund will assess his options. Deep into overtime, Lund opts to take the break on their 22, mature option from Sutton and Epsom.
Absolutely, they're going to take the break, come out firing again. What a fantastic first half of rugby we've had.
A stunning first half in our first of two Quins Cup finals tonight. Hove looking to do the double at under 15s and 16s level. And at the moment they are in the lead by 24-17. Well, a great performance from Hove. But Sutton and Epsom, we've already seen them fight back into the game to get a little closer to the action. I'll throw you down to Angus Savage, who is pitch side.
Thank you very much, Wilf. Yeah, wow, what first half that was. Hove absolutely flying out the traps for a 12-0 lead. They were absolutely sensational, but Sutton and Epsom unbowed really by being 12-0 down in a place like this. They came roaring back to level things up, only for Hove to come storming back themselves again, build a 24-12 lead. But Sutton and Epsom with that try towards the end of the half, bringing things to within a score, and we head into the halftime break at 24-17 on a glorious evening here at the Stoop. It's been absolutely fantastic, and the fantastic action keeps on coming, because in about an hour's time, an 8 o'clock kickoff, hour and 15 minutes maybe, 8 o'clock kickoff, we have the under 16 boys Quins Cup final, which features Hove again, this time taking on Esher, two fantastic clubs. That is the under 16 boys final taking place at 8 o'clock, and the live action doesn't stop there. We are back here in the same venue tomorrow night for the under 18 boys, the Colts Quins Cup final, which again sees two fantastic clubs in action in the form of Dorking and Cobham. That is a 7 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night, so it's a feast of live action, and it's been a feast here on this magnificent stoop surface. Jacob Salmon with a brace for Sutton and Epsom has been absolutely superb. The grit of Connor Lipscomb as well to score in the corner early on. Hove have just been superb at times. That back line of theirs producing so much quality, and with both wingers, a fullback and the outside centre, James Field, Jacob Schmidt-Ueli, Jude Schuff and Arthur Rogers all on the score sheet. It tells you a little something about the way Hove have been playing, and I'm sure Wilf will be talking in the second half about the electricity we saw for a couple of those Hove tries, although Jacob Salmon's pace will certainly be a talking point as well. It's been an absolutely brilliant first half, if you can't tell. We are all absolutely loving it. The two teams have got plenty to chat about, probably both looking to tighten up those defences, but I'll tell you what, if they keep that free-flowing attack going, they are going to be in business. The battle of the halfbacks has been pretty interesting as well, hasn't it? We've seen that George Hampson's been trying to bring that tempo to things. Ethan Lund, likewise, for Sutton and Epsom has been going well. And then the two fly halves, Llewellyn and Beckett, just trying to have their influence on the game. How will that develop as the game goes on? It all remains to be seen. Remember, under 15s, only 30 minutes each way, so this game feels like it's really rattling through, doesn't it? But I'll tell you what, we would like 40 minutes of this each way, because it has been absolutely wonderful. And a bit of sun breaking over the shoulder there. Perhaps we're going to continue to have a glorious evening ahead of us for this Hove versus Sutton Epsom game. And no doubt we've seen a few of those tries back, because they have been just fantastic. And a shout out to the young referees as well, the young match officials. Obviously being supported so well by the London Society of Referees and by Surrey Rugby. They've done a fantastic job out there, haven't they? Doing wonderful stuff. We're actually delighted that we're going to be able to mic up tomorrow night's referees as well. Slightly older batch of referees for tomorrow night, although still part of that young match officials programme. So it should be entertaining tomorrow night, should be entertaining at 8 o'clock tonight, and it should be entertaining over the course of the next half an hour. So it looks as though we're about ready to get going. Hove leading Sutton and Epsom 24 points to 17 in this under 15 boys Quins Cup final. Over to commentary and Wilf Kemsley.
Thanks, Angus. We're back for the second half then. Sutton and Epsom now playing right to left in the black and white, with the maroon and blue of Hove on the receiving end of kickoff. Craig Roberts battling alongside me for this one, and Craig, it was a great first half, but as we were saying at the break, Hove have just not used to being challenged at under 15s level, and this competition has delivered that in spades, and this is another big half for them in the final.
Absolutely, they've really come into their own this season. The quality of rugby they've been playing in Surrey has been phenomenal.
Deep kickoff from Noah Smith, stepping up in the absence of George Beckett, who had to go off injured in that first half, and a knock on might hand Sutton and Epsom away back into this one. Shane Russell is also onto the field in black and white. Good carry from Schmidt-Ueli, and then just not expecting the offload. You've always got to have your wares around Jacob Schmidt-Ueli.
Yeah, and as you can see, Harry Skinner's been put on as 9, with George Hampson moving to 10.
Picked off the base by Ben Doyle, the Harlequin, who picks out Lund. Bailey. Haven't seen much of the left winger today for Sutton and Epsom. 2 tries on the other side of things. Berger, great carry. But a brilliant turnover by Archie Ruffles. Sutton and Epsom still lining up their men in response. Asaf chopped down fantastically well by Channing. And they go piling through the ruck as well. Pressure on the new scrum half, Skinner. New to Hove, but still with the Harlequins Academy set up as well. Great box kick. Rogers after it. And he does really well to regather, but then has to free his hands to stop from going into touch. But in the end, the linesman's flag is up.
Yeah, that was a really close one there. They're really all digging in now, and they want every ounce of this ball.
Does well to beat his opposite man to it, but then shoved into touch by Tom Ashworth, another substitute in this second half. Mason Bryant, who came on in the first half as well, in the pack. for Sutton and Epsom. Ronnie Swan, the most committed player in the Sutton and Epsom side, as described by Simon Green, who has been at Sutton and Epsom since he was an 18-year-old, now coaching this under-15 side. And to the maul go Sutton and Epsom, and they have got some movement in there. There's two men over the top looking to rip it away, and it's been stolen by Jude Smith.
Excellent work there, those big levers going over the top and just wrenching it out.
Skinner off the deck, and what a hit! An absolutely massive shot from Tom Ashworth. Well, in fact, it was Mason Bryan who buried his man, but some quick thinking in midfield from Greer as he skips away. Sutton and Epsom desperate forward at the breakdown, and this time the call is theirs. And Noah Smith points straight for the sticks, but instead he goes for the quick tap. Good option with men outside him. Here's Channing, and it's a hint of a high tackle on the edge there from Rogers. Well, time off. I think they're going to discuss, just because of how close this was to the try line, the severity of the high shot. But we'll leave it for the pen. I'd have got away with one there, Craig.
I think he's chalked one up there and caught out by the dipping run there.
Ronnie Swan with the tap. Thumped by Asaf, but he gets over the gain line. Pick and go by the scrum half, and it's a big shot from Matanois Asaf to win it back for Hove.
That's some sterling defence there from Matt. He's been rocking it all season, and off we go. Let's see if we can get something out of this. No, straight into touch.
Brilliant box kick under the circumstances from Skinner.
That's it. They've got to soak up this pressure while it's coming and then take the chances to play out. We'll see how they get on with this one.
Deep pockets here at Hove, as we've discussed, in terms of players available. George Hampson's moved out to fly half, and an ex-Harlequin, but the nailed-on starter. And then on comes Harry Skinner, another scrum half associated with the Harlequin setup, the Shoreham Academy man. Great to see a club side with so much depth.
Yeah, we're very lucky, and the boys have done well.
Huge shove back onto the field. But it's Sutton and Epsom who have it. Green moves to fly half to give a bit of space for Noah Smith. Smith, straight through the hole. Noah Smith cuts on the inside. What a tackle. An unbelievable shot from Ethan Greer.
That's an absolute try saver there. Well done, Ethan.
And there's real pressure at the breakdown as well. But a pick and go from Sutton and Epsom leaves them inches short. Dominic Berger is waiting, but they'll go to the far side instead. Oh, lovely footwork. It should have been a walk in there. But a massive shot in response from Stopwar, and then crossfield for Sutton and Epsom. Who will it bounce for? It just about comes Bailey's way, but he's put to deck. And over comes Sutton and Epsom to secure it. Ashworth's the first one there, but he leaves it for Lund.
Another big hit there.
Sutton and Epsom, how have they not scored? Some last-ditch defending of the highest quality, and a turnover as well, and a quick tap, and off go Hove, and has Toma got the pace? He's hunted down by Tom Ashworth. But great yards there beyond halfway. Hampson off the deck. Smith gets the tip on for O'Rourke. O'Rourke, oh, it's still going. Picks out his second row partner in Archie Ruffles.
That's some good, powerful drives from the forwards there, doing the hard work for the boys.
We'll come back for the high tackle. This is a player in need of a bit of attention on this near side in black and white. Have another look at this game-changing tackle from Ethan Greer. Just does enough to catch his back boot. And then from there, it was a penalty from Talbot, who tapped quickly and made great yards. And this is as good as a try saver in response from the other number 18, Tom Ashworth.
It's fine lines here. These boys are absolutely firing, and it is producing top-class rugby on both sides.
There's two men in black and white down on this near side. One, I think, just with a little cramp, and the other just receiving a bit of attention to the shoulder. overcomes the Surrey County medic, of course, because this doubles up really as the Surrey County Cup, the Quins Cup. As parents and fans for the under-16 sides begin to arrive. Esher will be in action against Hove again, of course.
This is actually a decision Hove took earlier in the season. We've got our own medic and physio that comes to the games. We just felt it was really important playing at this high tempo and with the contact they're getting, that the boys have the best medical care they can get at all times. So we've brought our own medic up with us from Hove today, and we have him at all games now.
And it's the medic for Sutton Epsom who's walking Connor Lipscomb, the Harlequins back rower, off the field, clutching the arm. Unfortunately, he'll play no further part in the next few phases, at least, the try scorer. And it's Shane Russell also receiving a bit of attention, wondering if he'll be able to continue. So both sides will huddle up while that decision is made. And it's a rapturous round of applause for Lipscomb as he leaves the field. On the left-hand side of your screen there, making his way off the pitch. Well, what a season for Hove it's been. Of course, founded back in 1933 by the Sussex Yeomanry. In 1952, they approached the mayor, who secured them a pitch at Hove Park, and the old Scout Hut became their first rugby club. How they've kicked on since then, moving into the recreational ground in 2002, on the club's 50th anniversary. New facilities, 4 pitches. Great place to play rugby now, with sides all the way up and down the system. As unfortunately the second Sutton Epsom man will be leaving the field. Shane Russell going to be supported off the pitch on the right-hand side of your screen there. And it's unfortunate that we were discussing as well, so much rugby is being played by these young men, and it is a part of the game, unfortunately, but all the best support here at the Stoop with Sussex Harlequins, and both teams, of course, supplying their own physios and medics. We will start with a penalty just inside the 10-metre that George Hampson will look to find the touchline with, as Russell is applauded off the field. So tough to get back started again after that extended break, Craig.
Yeah, that's a short little game, but there we go, we're keeping control. Just need to set ourselves now, get back in it.
Chance on the far side for Hove, as they're in an attacking position here. The skipper, Hodges, to take the throw. Formerly of Harlequins, the Cardinal Newman man. Had a good day today, in front of the right people here at the Stoop.
Absolutely, he's having a great day, and hopefully they'll see him get another opportunity to enter the academy. He's a fantastic player.
Certainly get it at Cardinal Newman next year as he enters the ACE programme. Asaf beats the first and puts in a fend, and Asaf still going. Big shot from Ronnie Swan. But a quick pick and go. Hove on the rumble here. Skinner. Hampson. Stop war. Dummy from Satur, the new man. Schmidt-Ueli puts in the fend, and another. Schmidt-Ueli brought down at the third time of asking. Another pick and go from Hove. Desperate to play at pace. Hampson. Stop war. And then Raffles still gets the offload away. Hampson over the top. Here's O'Rourke. One more for Smith, the widest man, and the prop's going to score in the corner.
Good work, boys. Absolute route one through the middle, out to the wides. And who pops up but Jude Smith, the prop on the wing.
Not the first time you'll find him there this season. But again, it's a try very similar to the one they scored in the first half on the other wing, with just constant options to keep the ball alive. And it's, again, the forwards popping up. This time, Ollie O'Rourke at playmaker.
As you're probably noticing, for a forward pack, they are dynamic and quick, and their ball handling and speed of ball is really, really effective.
Draw and give from the Shoreham Academy man to put away Jude Smith. Hampson with another tough kick today. Oh, it's excellent, but again, it's just wide of the right-hand stick.
They're still not making it easy for them, but we'll take the 5 every time.
Jude Smith scores, 29-17 now. But Hove lead. And there's a crowd of black and white looking to get across. Does well. Under real pressure from Esher Bailey.
Almost looked to try and put a little swan dive in there, the way he took off.
Noah Smith, keen to get Sutton Epsom started. Coached by former London Irish and England scrum half Paul Hodgson and Quins legend Alex Dombrandt at senior level, of course, with Hodgson coming through the academy. Smith puts it in towards that 22, but it's a good take. And it's a dynamic carry straight through the first couple of defenders again from James Field, the hooker come winger. Skinner. This time it's just deflected off of a Hove hand, but backwards initially for a knock-on by the men in black and white.
That's a shame that was pulled up there, because we had a 3-man overlap on the wing. That could have been opportunity lost there.
Must have been the second of 2 knock-ons. But a scrum in midfield, still a good platform despite being just outside your own 22.
Absolutely, and these young match officials haven't missed a beat tonight. They've been excellent.
So split in attack, but Stopwar and Schmidt-Ueli are on the left-hand side with Greer and Jude Schuff on this near side, but Skinner goes to the open side. Here's Stopwar, lovely hand, Schmidt-Ueli through the hole. Here goes Jacob Schmidt-Ueli again, so hard to stop. Smith pops up the front row and there with the offload. Asaf gets it away. Straight back to his feet after being hit high. Jude Schuff. And
he's away.
He races through. Jude Schuff with a proper swan dive to boot as well.
There we go, boys.
Second try for the Hove winger. But how on earth did he sneak through there?
He often looks like he is made of elastic, that boy. He's so hard to grab hold of when he's at full tilt and moving.
Twice he bounces on the inside of Sutton and Epsom, and he may well have sealed this final for the Blues.
And there's a special swan dive at the end, because they love pleasing Coach Richard and his love of a swan dive.
Richard Cheeseman in charge of this stat Hove side alongside Luke Talbot, whose son, of course, Roberts, had a great game today. Nudged over for 2 more, 36-17. Hove now lead. Jude Schuff, who opened the scoring, may well have got the try that seals the final. And no right to get through there. Bit of a brick as he went down there with the swan dive. Little team talk from Sutton and Epsom, who've done so well to make this final. Of course, they were really comfortable in the group stage against Richmond, Roslyn Park and Old Rye Gatians. What an unbelievable pool to be drawn in. And then a classic against Cobham to decide the pool. Beat them by 2 points, 26-24. Another deep kick, this time beyond anyone in the back, and it falls for Schmidt-Ueli. Plenty of space for him to stretch his legs. Steps inside and out, Schmidt-Ueli. Little dummy over the top, eventually gets it away. It's just tipped on, and there's players queuing up on the near side. Stopwar, Schuff on a hat-trick, still going, here's Schuff. Did really well to get back and make the shot, Felix Green. Smith. Good defence from Sutton and Epsom, but a penalty advantage coming for Hove, just unable to roll away quick enough there. Ball on the inside for O'Rourke, who comes bundling through. Hove still looking for more scores here. Skinner to the far side. It's Hampson. Oh, it's just been knocked on, but a penalty advantage was still coming on the halfway line. Been really well disciplined today, Hove as well. Been important for them as Hampson looks to sneak for himself. Skinner with good support. It's another penalty coming the way of the South Coast side. And that has been a big difference between the two teams. They've been so disciplined, Hove, whereas Sutton and Epsom have been caught on the wrong side of the referee's whistle. Yeah,
it's been good to see from the boys. I mean, this could go either way sometimes with a penalty count, and you get the ref on board. They probably need to be a bit careful now, Sutton, because they are starting to stack up. And I know they don't like to yellow card the boys, but they could be a team one coming if they're not careful.
Well, just a bit of cramp there. Sutton and Epsom back to their feet. It's been a great season for them in their first effort in the Quins Cup to make the final. But a good season for the senior side as well, playing in Regional 2 South East. They escaped relegation on the final day by beating Canterbury 2s in an unbelievable fixture. It's a tough league as well, with Old Reigation and Battersea Ironsides in that division, who also compete in the Quins Cup. But what a turnaround for them to escape the drop. Hove at senior level competing in London South East, Div, with the likes of Twickenham and Cobham as well. So I know this part of the world very well, as they're back in a dangerous area with an uncontested line out, which is the norm at under 15s level, of course. Hodges look to pick out Ruffles. To the maul they go. Nice dummy, but a good sack from Sutton and Epsom. So picked off the base from Max Finberg. Hurstby, point front rower, on for his schoolmate Jude Smith. Hampson round the corner, Rourke throws the dummy, beautiful run, Asaf bumps through one on the roll, still manages to free the ball. It goes backwards in the end, penalty advantage coming, Schuff might not need it, looking for a hat-trick here, the winger. Held up by Sutton and Epsom.
There was no way that was coming out of his hands on a hat-trick, that's for sure.
Still lurking around the fringes there, pick and go, Talbot does well to lay it back. Skinner, Hampson. Lovely flick on for Rourke again. Rourke still going. Wrapped up by Ben Doyle. Quick ball for Hove. Hampson over the top. Schmidt-Oily bends back in there.
Yes, there he's in.
Try number 2 for Jacob Schmidt-Oily. An acrobatic finish in the corner to make sure.
He's been an absolute nuisance this evening for Sutton, and a well-deserved second try there.
What a performance in the final from Hove. Certainly teed it up for their under-16s who are watching on ahead of their game at 8 o'clock this evening. This is another brilliant bit of handling. You know, it's interesting. O'Rourke hasn't carried that often because he's drawing in so many players that he opts to pass, but finally goes on a rumble himself, and that's a beautiful peel over the top from George Hampson. It's almost as if he didn't know exactly who was out there, but he trusted that somebody would be on the end of it.
And that's the longevity of these boys playing together. They know each other so well, and they can rely on each other just to know they should be where they are when they're there.
Kick of the night from Hampson. As far wide as you can get. Schmidt-Oily's score is converted, and this is an excellent finish, but what a ball from George Hampson.
To see the confidence is building now, and it's showing in their play and the kicking. They're really riding the wave of this, and I really hope they can just push on now and win this.
With about 10 minutes to go, it would be amazing to see Sutton and Epsom come back from here. That's certainly what we're hoping for from a neutral perspective.
Well, yeah, not for me, unfortunately.
Hit deep beyond the 22. Hampson underneath it. He might just return fire. It's a good shot to hunt him down, but he still gets the ball away. Schmidt-Oily dancing his way through.
There we go.
just one too many high tackles, unfortunately, for Sutton and Epsom. And it's Mason Bryant who I think is going to see yellow.
It's been coming, unfortunately. They have been chancing their arm.
Certainly a team penalty. It's not been, it wasn't too vicious a tackle, but at this level, of course, player safety is what we're all about. You've got to keep them low.
And you've just got to be mindful of that penalty count. You just can't keep stacking them up.
Hampson finds touch. What a game he's had. At some point, we're going to have to talk about man of the match, Craig, so just teeing you up for that one. If it's not Arthur Rogers, you are doing something wrong, given that power.
I think after those two stinkers under the high ball, he'll be walking home.
Great try, though. Hang on a minute. Let's balance it out. Line out to come. Safely into the hands of Ruffles, and Hampson darting his way through. Oh, it's outstanding from the scrum half, come fly half. He's got Stockmore with him. Is this the moment for Christian Stockmore? What a shot! Unbelievable tackle again from Sutton and Epsom. Smith got back to make the chop, but Asaf is going to take the ceiling route.
There we go.
Mantanois Asaf gets another try on the board for Hove.
Just starting to see those holes now, and unfortunately, we're looking at Sutton there. They've got their heads down, they're starting to blow, hands on knees, while Hove are just pushing on and looking fitter and fitter.
What a tackle from Noah Smith, who stepped up massively today after the unfortunate early injury to George Beckett. But Asaf was the quickest to react once the ball was made available there.
Yeah, it's been a real shame for Sutton. They've lost what looks like a couple of key players to injury through this first and second half, and it seems to be making a difference now.
For the half century. Knocked over once again by George Hampson, who's been brilliant today. Asaf, the big ball carrier, who made this look very simple in the end.
Yeah, he's been doing this all season for us. Just his strength and ability at this moment, and the speed he puts on now is just great to watch at times.
Currently at the King's School, Hove, not a institution that gets a lot of shout-outs on Next Gen, but a couple of their boys performing great today, including Jude Schuff, still on a hat-trick. Hampson throws the dummy. Not bought this time by Noah Smith, who's been brilliant on both sides of the ball today. Asaf, he's hammered. Brilliant shot from Sutton and Epsom. Will Newton. That's another penalty advantage coming here for Hove, and slightly beyond the vertical that time from Rafe Young. Bit of frustration boiling over.
Yeah,
But
they need to keep their heads here, Sutton, or they'll be in danger of losing another one. It's we just want to see a good end to this game and keep it at the good spirited tempo we've had.
Skinner with ball in hand. I think they're just going to go for the tap here. Hove on halfway. Hampson, it's great line speed, but still they managed to ship it wide. Schmidt-Ueli, what a pickup, what a step again. Schmidt-Ueli still going, beats four men. Asaf, head down, gunning for it, slips through the tackles. Asaf with a big don't argue to score another.
Absolute class from the boy. What a team try there. The slippery slideys.
Mantanois Asaf, 2 for him in the second half. And look, at this point in the contest, when you're 50 points down, I also do not want to tackle Mantanois Asaf. There'll be no passing the buck here. What a run from the number 8. Knocked over from right under the sticks as well. And a 40-point deficit has opened up. And Craig, I mean, what were the conversations coming into this game? They certainly couldn't have been expecting a result like this.
Absolutely not. They knew it was going to be a tough, hard game, and the boys have been excited to play but confident. There was no doubt in their mind they were coming here to win and weren't accepting anything else. But I think they've opened up the gap now, and I think, you know, they're just pushing on and maybe even a little bit surprised. You can see the joy and excitement in their faces now. It's really picking them.
It was an excellent first half. But I do agree with what you said earlier there, Craig, that a couple of very key players went down injured for Sutton and Epsom, and sometimes you can just get unlucky. Doesn't matter that it's a final. It's here at the Twickenham Stoop. You can just get unlucky. It's great to see Ben Doyle back to his feet. In fact, it was Ethan Lund in the backfield who's back amongst it, battling through cramp in his final 5 minutes or so. Oh, what a kickoff, what a pickup from Ruffles. The second row right on his toes.
They're just not missing a thing at the moment, the boys. It's excellent.
Hodges still swinging his arms, trying to break through. Ball is loose, and it's great defence from Sutton and Epsom. Another big hit, forcing the turnover.
And you think, despite the 40-point deficit, these boys have not given up. They're still putting in hits like that and challenging for the ball. It's really good to see.
Scrum to come from Sutton and Epsom. Got over 1,800 members when you include their social members as well at the club. And quite a few of them in the stands today on the far side.
They've certainly brought the noise with them, haven't they? That's for sure.
Absolutely. Here comes the scrum. Now, referee not happy with it. Rather drab end to the final here if we stay in the set piece. What a beautiful evening it is, though, here in Twickenham at the Stoop, the home of Harlequins, in this first of two Quins Cup finals tonight, and then, of course, the under-18s tomorrow evening as well. Off the deck from Lund. Green. Big fend from Newton. And Sutton and Epsom's best player today. Heavy contact on the edge. Still Sutton and Epsom look to play. Big clear out from the men in black and white. Really direct running through the forwards. Hove stand up well. Well, they want the ball in behind here. Green, Newton. Well, it was Smith who took contact. Good support from Newton. Over the top from Green. That's just gone straight out in the end. Well, that was where they wanted the ball. Ashworth was pointing for it. There was a bit of space there, but just not quite the execution thereafter.
It's good thinking there, keeping his head looking up, but just not quite there at the end for him.
So a line out just inside the Hove half. Coming towards the final plays here of a final that would certainly be Hove for the taking, their second cup victory in 2 days. After the win in the Sussex County Cup yesterday. Ruffles, first line out that's gone amiss for him, but he's been bailed out by second row partner O'Rourke. Skinner, Llewellyn back on at fly half. Stop war, good step on the inside. In fact, it's Asaf who's bundling his way through. Asaf looking for their second half hat-trick.
How on earth has he got through there? He had no right to do that. Fantastic movement from that boy.
I thought it would have been Stop War coming inside from centre, but it's Asaf who's managed to negotiate his spot in the centres here and cuts back against the grain brilliantly. Just a one-man press from Sutton and Epsom and some tired legs at the end of this final for Asaf to exploit. He's still going.
Yeah, they're certainly trudging back now, bless them. It's been a hard second half for them, that's for sure.
A hat-trick from Antonois Asaf in the second half. Well now, Craig, we are going to touch on that Player of the Match award. Couple of nominations, of course.
They're making it difficult, aren't they? That's for sure.
Got that man, Mantanois Asaf, who's run away with the scoring, but those were tries that came after the final was confirmed, you could argue.
Yeah.
Jacob Schmidt-Ueli with 2 stunners on either side of half-time. George Hampson ran the show throughout this game. And then in the forwards, Talbot and Smith both had big shifts, added the captain, Gabe Hodges. Who are you picking out from an XGen Live perspective?
It's an absolute toss-up at the minute. I think my 2 front runners, for me, are George. He held the show at 9 and moved excellently into 10, where he seemed to just come alive and even take more control. And the dummy passing, the break in the line was excellent. Matanios has been outstanding, you know, but as you say, he's come alive late in the game, maybe against tired legs. But it's just strong performances from those 2 from me. So I think a toss-up for George or Matanios at this time.
Big clear out. Still minutes here as Hampson's left the field. So in at first, receiver is Shush, still looking for that hat-trick. Good offload for Hodges. Llewellyn, O'Rourke, big dummy from the big man, and at the back door from O'Rourke. What a game he's had in the background as well today. Finberg, up to halfway. Skinner, O'Rourke, what an engine the second row's had on him here, and O'Rourke is going to go rearing away. Still going, O'Rourke, throwing off black and white bodies, and then hit hard by Sutton Epsom, who are rushing back. Direct on the step from Satur.
Excellent work, Jeff. Good step. All made by Ollie's hard work in the start there, and he was alive to that ball, just darting through at the end there for them.
And the young lad from Sir Robert Woodward Academy is going to score.
He's another boy that just quietly gets on with his work in the forwards.
That'll do it. Hove are champions in consecutive days. They take the Quins Cup by 67-17.
Absolute corker of a final, and yeah, brilliant for the boys. Two wins in 2 days. Sussex champs and Surrey champs. Absolutely outstanding performances all round.
Well, what a performance from Hove, driven on by some unbelievable carriers in the likes of Asaf and Schmidt-Ueli, but the man who was the real engine there was George Hampson, who I'm going to gift that man of the match award as the tiebreaker, Craig. But what a performance by Hove. 67-17, they're champions. Job's only half done, though, for the South Coast side, with the under-16 still to play. But my word, they've been set some target, Craig.
The bar has been set exceptionally high, and let's hope the under-16s are alive to the challenge and we can take home 2 wins this evening. That would be fantastic for us.
Well, Craig, thank you so much for joining us. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you, Craig, alongside the comms box here today. I mean, how have you enjoyed? We got the best view in the house. Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I can't believe it. I've had a great time. Well, I'll let you head down and join the successful Hove party, as I will cut to Angus Savage, who is pitchside. Congratulations to Hove. 67-17, Quins Cup champions.
Thank you very much, Wilf. Wow, what a stunning second half from Hove to, as Wilf says, collect their second trophy in as many days. Absolutely superb. It was tight in the first half, but Hove came storming through in the second half. But plenty for Sutton Epsom to be proud of from that first half, but we will try and capture some reaction with some of the Hove players ahead of the trophy lift coming soon. And we don't actually have a huge amount of time before the 8 o'clock kickoff, so do stay with us. And will we be able to just nip in here? Well, I'll tell you what, our camera operator has just spotted that our Hove team are lining up for their adoring fans. We'll see if we can have a chat with one in just a second. Sutton and Epsom making their way across. A few walking wounded on their side after a fantastic day. I might just see if I can have a word with Luke Talbot. Luke, can we have a quick word?
Yes, as long as it's radio, we're all good. So.
Yeah, we'll be all good. We'll be all good. I've got the face for radio, don't you worry. It was an incredible second half performance, but it brought real energy throughout.
Yeah, I'm immensely proud of the boys. They've worked really hard. This is a culmination of sort of 6 to 10 years of hard work, turning up training every Thursday, every Sunday, pushing ourselves to play against teams from outside of Sussex, Surrey, Kent, even North London and places like that. So they just, everything we wanted them to do, they've done today, so incredibly proud.
And played in a style, I think, actually particularly in the first half with some of those early scores we saw. It was just brilliant on the eye, just looking to go wide, get the ball through as many sets of hands as possible. Yeah,
I'd love to say it's all the coaching we do, but in reality we've got a fantastic group of boys. They're all from all different schools, but when they come to the club, they all gel together. And you know, some of the offloads, some of the passing, some of the decision making was just phenomenal, just really good.
Really was. What does this mean to the club, particularly actually with another final coming up in about half an hour's time?
Yeah, I think it just shows the strength of the club. I think it shows how strong that we are, that we're dominant in Sussex and now we're dominant in Surrey. For this year, obviously. Next year, it's up to us to come back and do it all again.
Fantastic. Thanks for your time.
No worries. Thank you.
Luke Talbot, the head coach of Hove RFC, as receiving the official Man of the Match award by the looks of things was Jacob Schmidt-Wheely, the Next Gen Live Man of the Match, obviously going to the scrum half George Hampson, who did a turn at fly half as well. We're just going to spin round actually because you can get a good look at what he gets for this, which is a brilliant little Quins cap, as the Hove players make their way now to collect their medals. Some terrific performances all throughout. Hampson collecting his medal, one of many that played so well. I'm right in the way of everyone's photos, so I'm going to do my best to get out of the way of them. A reminder that at 8 p.m. Hove are on again in the under-16s game against Esher. So stay with us for that. Live action all evening here on Next Gen Live. And again tomorrow night for the under-18 boys, the Quins Cup Colts final between Dorking and Cobham. But for a few minutes longer, it is time to celebrate the achievement of these Hove under-15s and a quite exceptional 67-17 victory. We've seen some pretty outstanding performances in these Quins Cup finals, haven't we? Not least from the Wimbledon girls a couple of weeks back, but Hove have joined those ranks. And now the moment they've all been waiting for. A trophy bigger than some of the players in this side is about to be awarded to them. The European Cup's got nothing on this. As Hove hoist aloft that trophy there, Captain Gabriel Hodges, the tight head prop, raises it above his head. The Newman College man, he's been part of this Hove setup since he was an under-7, enjoying his and his side's moment of victory as Sutton and Epsom just share a moment on this far touchline with some of their supporters. Right, let's see if we can find a word with Gabriel Hodges. Gabriel, do you fancy 10 seconds with us here? Gabriel, what does that mean to you guys? Incredible performance in the final here.
I mean, yeah, it's a great day for the club, for us boys here. I think only Sussex team to enter the competition. It's like very monumental for the club and for us boys today, yeah.
And obviously, first half, it's a pretty tight game, actually. You got an early lead, but Sutton and Epsom came roaring back, and then second half, it just felt like everything clicked for you.
Team talk from the coach at the half-time really motivated us throughout the whole second half. And yeah, great second half from the boys. Yeah.
Fantastic. And your under 16s have got a final coming up as well. It's a pretty good day to be a Hove man.
Exactly. Great for the club, great for all the boys out here, great for the supporters, and yeah, great for the sport.
Fantastic. Gabriel, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Cheers.
Gabriel Hodges, the Hove skipper, speaks fantastically well for an under 15 as well, doesn't he? Superb stuff. I'm always nervous when we put a microphone in front of the youngest of the age groups, but they know what they are doing. They are a superb group. Sutton Epsom just having a few commiserating moments. We've got our player of the match here on the official terms, Jacob Schmidt-Wheely. You might just be able to spot that camera there. They are just having a bit of a back and forth with some of their supporters. I actually saw a great number of Hove supporters of the older generation in Twickenham Town earlier on my way in. Right, we are just about at that moment where we switch focus and we start to lean into what's coming up next, because what's coming up next after that tremendous 67-17 victory for Hove in this under 15 Quins Cup final, we now move on to the boys under 16 competition, where Hove, as I've mentioned, are in it again. The superb Hove RFC taking on Esher RFC. That is coming to you live at 8 o'clock. But before we do that, it's probably worth us in a couple of moments' time having a look through some of the tries from this, because Hove scored 11 tries in this final. That is pretty spectacular. So we'll have a look at those in a couple of moments' time, and then we will be into the build-up for that huge 8 o'clock kickoff, the under 16s Quins Cup final between Hove and Esher. But from Hove versus Sutton Epsom, the under 15 boys cup final, well, it was all Hove in the end. A superb performance from them. They've made it 1. Will they make it 2 by the time the evening's out? Welcome back to the Stoop, home of Harlequins in the shadows of Allianz Stadium for Game 2 of Quins Cup final night. We've already seen Hove collect the under-15 boys Quins Cup with a terrific performance just finishing about half an hour ago. Now they aim for double glory, but they face an Esher side that is looking absolutely superb this season. Hove have just gone in at the conclusion of their warm-up, but Esher, meanwhile, are still running through their warm-up. So both sides going through slightly different routines, and both have had slightly different routes to this point in time. They actually met in the group stage, unlike in our under-15 game, met in the group stage where Hove got the better of Esher 22-14, but if you read our preview by tonight's match commentator Wilf Kemsley earlier this week, you will have seen that things have changed a little bit since then. Esher have been on a run of form that has been superb, beating Wimbledon 20 points to 10 in their quarterfinal, and then winning a tight, gritty game away at Farnham to win their semi-final as Esher make their way back into the tunnel. Hove, meanwhile, they were top of the group on points difference to head into this one. And then a superb performance against Battersea Ironsides in the quarterfinals took them into the semi-finals, where they faced Old Reigatians in one of the great semi-final performances, winning by 50 points against Old Reigatians. So Hove come into this one in red-hot form, but Esher come into this having proven that they can win in gritty and telling circumstances. And if we know anything about finals rugby, as you go up the age ranks, it's that it gets gritty and it gets difficult, and that could make for a very compelling contest here at the home of Harlequins. We're delighted as well tonight that the officials are young match officials. You'll notice they aren't mic'd up. That's because they are incredibly young referees, part of the young match officials programme that is supported so brilliantly by Surrey Rugby and the London Society of Referees, among other things. So they won't be mic'd up. We will be mic'd up tomorrow night though, and that gives me a great opportunity to talk to you about what's coming up tomorrow night, because the live rugby does not stop here. Tomorrow we return to the Stoop for the under-18 boys, the Colts final in the Quins Cup, the very last of the Quins Cup finals. Dorking against Cobham as the wind starts to get up here inside the Stoop. That is live tomorrow, 7 p.m. The Colts Quins Cup final, Dorking versus Cobham. Before all that though, it is about the under-16s and these lads who are going to be emerging from that tunnel behind me before too long. Hove and Esher, two of the great clubs in the Surrey and Sussex area. They've been fantastic for so many years. Esher have been riding high in the national leagues. Mike Brown recently joining their coaching staff. That is the sort of club you're looking at. And Hove, well, we've already heard so much about them this evening. One of the great clubs on the south coast and a terrific away venue if you're ever fancying a trip. Right, we are not too far away. Our officials are in the tunnel, and when we start to see those players emerging into the tunnel, we will be throwing up to Wilf Kemsley in commentary, who's joined on co-commentary by Toby Gale, a member of the Hove, well, would we call it coaching staff, support club? He's an extra from Hove, that's for sure, and he's going to be chipping up alongside Wilf. So we're going to be heading up there very shortly. We've enjoyed a superb start to the day with that terrific performance in the under-15s Quins Cup final. Now it is all about those under-16s. Hove versus Esher coming up any moment now, and to talk you through it and run you through the team sheets ahead of kickoff, it's Wilf Kemsley and Toby Gale.
Thanks, Angus. Our second game of the evening here, live from the Twickenham Stoop. And, well, what a stunning evening it has been. A bit of a nip in the air, but it's still pretty tropical for the standards of the English summer as the two sides are ready to head out. And as they make their way out of the tunnel, let's take a look at the two sides, starting with Hove. O'Donnell, Hart and Lenton in the front row with the captain Louis Graham alongside Munzinger Ray in the locks. Wilfred Rawlinson, great name, in the back row alongside Dylan Baldwin. And Sydney Harris, an under-15, playing up, which they needed special dispensation to grab. Hughes and Hathaway have been 9 and 10 for 11 years together, along with McDonald and Cartwright in the centres, Sean and Wright, the Irishman, on one wing, and Dan Crooks on the other. Eddie Bush, the most confident rugby player in the country, starts at fullback. Heather, Downs, Thornton and the rapid Jonathan Lodi are on the bench. And to take them on, it's the yellow and black of Esher who are ready to take to the field. And here is the Esher side. They've got Bide, Bance and Paul Connor in the front row with Ethan Joel and another captain in the locks, Dylan Samuel, one of two Sather twins in the back row alongside Noah Wadey and Ollie Ross. Peacock at 9 with the vice-captain Oscar Smith at 10. Galan and Mack at vice-captain at 12 and 13 with the second Sather on one wing, Hayward on the other and Felix Little at full-back. Young, Warren Butt, Little and Matlock all ready to make their impact from some top schools as well, Cranley and Millfield above them. Well, Hove will kick us off in the maroon and blue from left to right as the Hawks are looking to pull the double off for Hove tonight after the under-15s took a huge win in their opening game. Esher, though, a storied rugby club, one of the highest standards of rugby in London to be played there, will be looking to really challenge this Hove side who have beaten them twice already in the regular season. Great chase from the kickoff, and the first contact is just outside the 22. Penalty Hove. Great start for the visitors. Toby Gale alongside me, the Colts coach, so you'll be having a few of these Hove players in your ranks next season, but also coaching at Cardinal Newman. So you're pretty invested in how this one goes for Hove.
I'm absolutely buzzing for this one, Wilfred. Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure. Yeah, like you say, going to be a good one. Watched their semi-final last week. That was absolutely electric, so looking forward to this one. Yeah,
what a semi-final it was. They put 50 points past Old Reigatians, who were champions at under-15s level. But the first line out of the day is going to come for Esher. And down it goes, and it's into the path of Oscar Smith, who knocked the winning penalty. And then what a brilliant line through the centres. Sather cuts off his wing, might pop up here on the edge for Sather, but instead it's into contact and up to the 10-metre. Esher with a fast start, through the forwards they go. No numbers on the Esher shirts tonight, so we'll do our best to identify who we can. Smith, cross field, and it will bounce into touch. Line out for the Hove Hawks. Decent defensive set, but a penalty. 2 already at the start of this game, Toby, and points taken immediately by Oscar Smith.
Yeah, a bit of excitement from the Hove boys, I think. Esher have started strong. We've got to bounce back. Whatever happens here, goes over, misses. We've got to bounce back. We've got to go again.
Well, Oscar Smith hit the winning penalty to beat Farnham. What a game it was. 29-27, they came out as victors, as these two sides actually met in the group stages as well as playing in the regular season. They're very experienced with each other. 2 narrow games so far. On that 10-metre line, about 8 yards to the left-hand side of the uprights. Smith certainly has the legs, just not the angle. And we'll come back for a 22 dropout for Hove. Well, there was the crossfield kick, but they came back for the penalty advantage instead. Not a bad nudge, though, if they did let it play, Toby.
Yeah, lovely nudge. I've been watching the number 10 warm up. Looks like a good player, looks handy on the boot. So, yeah, I think he'll have a good game, one to watch.
And they're going to look to truck it up through the centres, and it's Mack who makes the early break. Stepping back on the inside, flicks it out the cat flap. Well, Kobe Mack has already played for Quins under-17s last week against Gloucester. A couple of tries for him there as they punch up towards the 22. Through the forwards again.
Very
lovely
slick.
Soft hands, and it's a 3-on-1, and they might not need the hands out wide because they'll crash over instead. And the opening try goes Esher's way. Well, not sure how a overlap like that suddenly opened up on this near side, Toby.
Yeah, a lot of pressure from the start. Esher have worked their way up the pitch, lovely. I think just biting in. They talk a lot in defence at Hove about the different styles of defence. You can see there we've looked to shoot up and left holes. So something to work on, but definitely an unbelievable attack from Esher.
Esher start the fastest then, and Smith will have a second nudge as the jet engines roar overhead here in Twickenham.
Not an easy first kick, Wilfred.
Not at all. Not under that kind of noise as well. I'm not sure if it's going through as clearly as it is for us here on the far side. Smith. Beautiful curl on it, and it's an extra 2 added. What a wonderful nudge from Oscar Smith.
Yeah, I was watching the number 10 warm up, and he missed his first few, but he's come into the game and he's clearly got his confidence going. So great first kick.
Griffin Hathaway with a chance to respond. He's been at Hove since he was 4 years old. That great partnership with his Cardinal Newman teammate Will Hughes will be important today, and it's a wonderful kick. Tapped back though by Esher. In comes the shot from Lentin. And once again Esher will have the chance to exit, but not on the deck. A gift for Hove, and a first chance to see them really play with ball in hand. And given how the game's gone in these early stages, just 5 minutes in, well, you'd expect that they've got to use this kind of possession, Toby.
Absolutely, yeah. First period in their half. These backs are electric, Wilfred, so I think you're going to enjoy this one.
And they're all stacked on this short side as well. Got about 50 metres to play with on this near side, and marched back by the ARs, Esher. Very keen to get up in the defensive line. Will McDonald, the knife, stands at first receiver.
Watch out for number 15, Eddie Bush. Creates magic out of nothing.
McDonald, miss pass, great read from Esher, but they flick it around the corner.
Go lads, get in the corner.
Right. Looks to fling it on the inside. Backwards, says the referee. It's Bush. Contact on the 22. Quick ball though for Hughes. Griffiths. And then up the jumper from Wilfred Rawlinson. New to rugby, only his second season in the game. Munzinger Ray. Good line speed to catch Hathaway, but he rocks and rolls up to the 22. So not much gainage here, but a beautiful tip on to find Munzinger Ray. He'll be there with those support lines all day. Hint of a late hit on the captain, Graham. Harris out the
Great
back.
hands.
Here's Bush. Bush through the cap flap. What a pickup right on the toes of Dan Crooks. Hove really rolling here. They've got a penalty advantage as well. Griffiths once again through the forwards. It's Rawlinson. Double shot to drive him back are the big men in black. Harris charged down. So we'll come back for the penalty.
Massive compliment to Esher's defensive work here. Shooting off the lines, making big hits. Really, really physical.
And the penalty is all the way on the far side. Offside the call, and bit of a coach killer because they defended so well there, Toby.
Yeah, defence was really, really good against a good attack. So, yeah, we'll see how long that goes on for.
Touch found by Griffin Hathaway.
Wilfred, do we think this is a maul?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, but I do think that Sydney Harris, who I can't quite believe is an under-15 player. He could have been playing in the game before. The ginger number 8 is there in the pocket.
Yeah, he really scares me. Yeah, I see him around college as well, and yeah, he really scares me.
Special dispensation. I can't imagine that meeting took very long. They took one look at him and went, yeah, I think he'll be fine. To the tail, it's overthrown, and the big chance will not yet be missed because it's brilliant work at the back of the line out to win it back for Hove. Baldwin taking the scenic route, still going Baldwin.
Great carry.
Eventually brought down midway between the 5 metre and 22. Hughes again through the forwards. Should be some quick ball coming for Hove. Hughes, Hathaway. What a grab right behind him from Rawlinson. Looking for the turnover, but it won't come for them here. Munzinger Ray. Looking to come through the breakdown and cause a nuisance, but it's offloaded for Sydney Harris. The Harlequins under 15. Flashed across, some good hands from Baldwin, who still manages to get it away. They are happy to free the hands here. McDonald plays 9. Straight back into traffic, though. Looking to take on one of the two Savas.
just looking to open up two sides here, I think, Wilfred, to allow this defensive set to be a bit tougher. I think we're a bit weak on the blind side at the moment.
It's another penalty advantage. They do go wide for Cartwright. Only joined in January, so a part of this Quins Cup journey. Finally, the ball is put down, but they can play with that freedom with the penalty coming. We are camped in this 22, Toby.
Yeah, definitely camped. I don't know when they're going to choose to kick the points, but I think that's a massive mental gain if we can just get those points on the board.
Well, over comes the captain, Dylan Samuel. And I imagine the message is stop giving penalties away in the 22. Joined by his lock counterpart, Louis Graham. Well, I can't hear exactly what's being said down there, but I imagine the referee's just taking back control of things as Esher have their mothers meeting right under the post.
So we've got Wilfred, number 6, whose nickname is actually Pickle, because apparently he's got a bit of spice to his play. I don't know whether pickles are spicy, Wilfred.
Well, his coach is christened him the Wolf, which I would much prefer than Pickle, as Rawlinson takes contact inside the 22. Lent in with a good carry. The Brighton College man. Hathaway dances on the inside, but he's well met. And they're looking for the strip here, Esher, and they have nicked it back. But a penalty coming, and Hove have their blushes spared because he was off to the races. Instead, it's a quick tap, and forward comes Muzzing-Array. Soft hands from Baldwin. Rawlinson. It's another penalty. Quick tap instead from O'Donnell.
Aye.
Hit hard again from Esher.
Let's go, let's move it.
Rawlinson reaches out. Try
Yeah, boy!
Well, they certainly had a yellow card coming, so I think Esher have gotten away with one there. The quick tap denied the referee the opportunity. Thomas, the tank engine O'Donnell, the first to go quick. Eventually it came back for Rawlinson, who reached out at the last to put Hove back into the game. And after all this time spent in the 22, Toby, they certainly deserve it.
Absolutely, yeah, a little bit of class towards the end. I love the ambition to just keep at it, and get over eventually. Pickle to score.
Bush looking to put Hove on level terms. The Harlequins under 17 next season.
Get in the hole.
Oh, just flicks the uprights and goes wide. But Wilfred Rawlinson amongst the scorers, and Hove just 2 points behind. This is a great finish, and it needed some finishing. And now it's a 2-point game, and look at those celebrations, Toby. They are well up for this one.
Absolutely, that's Hove through and through that. Get a little bit gritty after a score, I absolutely love it.
Well, they met 3 times in recent, twice in the under-16 season, 2 wins home and away for Hove, both by narrow margins, 19-15 and 22-12. But last season at under-15s level, it was Esher who took the victory when these sides met and knocked on from the kickoff. So a big chance for Esher to get back in the game. He's just stripped in the tackle here as he hits the deck.
Esher's intent in defence is absolutely phenomenal so far. That's what's allowing their attack to also be so good.
Esher, founded back in 1923 by 4 rugbying enthusiasts in the Wheatsheaf pub. One of them, a Welshman, was adamant that his home colours were sported on the shirt, so the black and yellow of Newport were chosen from where he hails, and they still play in those colours today.
I like the look of this move from Esher. I'm just wondering how this is going to pan out.
Well, Mac, the obvious target with the leg tape at 13, and then on this near side is that Castor Sava, who scored against Farnham in the semi-final, but you can see the more diminutive Joshua Hayward, who was on the double in their semi-final, also there in the backfield. Scrum fed by Peacock. Smith out the back for Mac, and Mac will straighten up, and here's Sava. Sava with 2 to beat, pins back his ears, he's dragged into touch. Tackle. Well, what a shot that was by Eddie Bush.
Yeah, trusting the inside man there and just pushing out and allowing him to get to last. Really, really good from Hove.
Brilliant defence, but they're still under pressure here. A line out on the 5 metre. Over comes Reggie Hart to take the throw from St Burgess Hill. His first season at the club, the all-rounder. He's wearing the under-18 women's shirt.
Legend.
At number 16. There'll be 2 of them later on when Kieran Heather enters the fray. Big crash from Baldwin at the back of the line out, and the exit surely coming soon. Again through Rawlinson, who's right up the jumper of Esher there. Still manages to wriggle out of the tackle. The towering Ethan Joel. Smuggled away by Hathaway under real pressure.
Really good pressure again from Esher, getting off the line, putting pressure on the number 10. They look really strong in defence here, Esher.
Well, it's tough to go back-to-back in the final as Jacob Bantz will take the throw. Here becomes Harry Bide, whose father is part of the coaching staff, of course. Well, Bide's going to start on the sideline and rush in. And it's into the middle of the park, and it is clean ball for Peacock.
Get up, Will.
Smith. And here's the absolutely rapid Joshua Hayward, almost up to the 5. Mack. Up to the 5 metre again here. Soft hands should do it for Esher, but driven towards the touchline. Peacock. Here's Bantz. Dragged down by Munzingaray. Matt comes in for some work and gets the tip away. And how close are Esher here for a second score? Peacock wants it quickly.
Fold, boys. Gotta fold. Gotta fold.
Again, dancing his way through goes Hayward. And it may well be Ruben Gallen who goes in to score in the end. But it's Esher on the board. That's what we do know. Yeah, no shirt numbers, so I'm configuring who scores by their position on the field, and that's nigh on impossible here. But try scored is all we know from Esher. We do know Oscar Smith has responsibilities with the tee. He'll nudge it over. It's 15-5 that Hove lead. Well, they've had a tough old route to the final. They finished second in the group behind Hove. It was 14 groups that made up the under-16 competition at the Quins Cup, so they were still through to the quarter-finals, but they had to beat the very talented Wimbledon team who were seeded ahead of them 2010, and then they took down Farnham by just 2 points for this revenge match, this grudge fixture. But tapped down for the kick-off. Soft hands from McDonald, and they're away down the left again.
End-to-end stuff.
What a turnover by the try scorer, who's straight back in amongst things here.
Yeah, there was talk in the week about this breakdown stuff from Esher. They look really sharp around the breakdown.
Penalty, but absolutely stunning hands from McDonald. It popped up into his path and he managed to get the ball away. We just need to see a bit more of Esher with ball in hand in the right areas. The classic chant of nowhere, but they have in fact made 15 metres beyond the 22.
I thought that was a decent kick.
And it will be Jacob Bantz with the throw. Overthrown, and it's collected by Munzingaray.
Just got to be patient here, just got to build nicely, just be patient, keep on the ball. There
Great line speed from Esher, but this time too hot off the mark. Penalty coming.
Yeah.
Hathaway digs it up crossfield, looking for Dan Crooks. It's a good take from Savo, who calls his mark. So we'll come back for the penalty. Well, they're looking to inject a bit of pace into the attack this time. It's yet another penalty, and again, Gainland Samuel is going to have to come and have a conversation here. Not sure how many more they have in the locker here before they're in trouble. Hathaway finds the corner. It's a brilliant kick.
Yeah, really good kick into the corner.
Ooh, linesman's not been too kind, though. Have to march back to about 15 metres out. Reggie Hart with his shirt, the coach is calling Captain Nors. Such a powerful all-rounder. Every part of the game in his first season at the club. Short into the path of O'Donnell, who flicks it off the hooker Hart. But unfortunately, it's a free kick. I don't think the throw went 5. A risky play. It's an exciting play, but if it doesn't work out for you, it's a bit of a missed opportunity, as it is here for the Hove Hawks.
Definitely, yeah, they would be gutted with that. I think they've been training that all year, so they'll be gutted with that, but on to the next thing.
Free kick and touch found on the 10-metre mark. But it will be a Hove line out. I think he's caught it within the 5-metre channel, which is not legal. They'll have to go back to the old traditional line out, neither of which have worked so far today for either team. Competitive space, but the captain, Graham, will lead the charge, and he claims it well. And Hathaway through the forwards again in midfield. Baldwin chopped down beyond the gain line. Esher over the ball! Another turnover!
Really impressive from Esher over that breakdown. Give it a second, they'll take it.
And I think it's Ollie Ross who's grabbed another turnover, the number 8. Don't know for certain because they don't have shirt numbers, which I'm only a little bit sulking about. Very late live stream, they didn't know for Esher.
Oh, he's taking the kick.
Well, what an option for the nudge. Off target from his first effort, but perfect since then. Oscar Smith been prolific with the boot this season. Almost no wind for him to deal with here, but a long way out. 58 metres on the kick. Certainly has the range. Off the post and collected.
Come alive, boys, come
by
alive.
Will Hughes. And Hughes is going to have a little dart himself. On the turn, the scrum half finds the offload, and it's been put down by Baldwin.
Yeah, just rushing things slightly, Hove, at the moment. I think being in the stoop is a big factor of this. They're normally quite controlled in their play, but I think they'll come into it. I think they're all right.
It's a big game for this under-15 side who were dominant in Sussex, so they've crossed the border looking for some competition. They've certainly found it. Went on tour to Dublin last season, had great success taking on the Leinster feeder schools, but it's Esher who lead them by 14-5 at this stage, and it could be more. Split attack for the Lions. Round the corner comes Smith, floats it all the way out. The Hayward looking for another score on the roll. Twice in the semi-final he was on the board. Direct as you like. And their big back row and second row. Such options for them here.
Good hit, Reggie.
Big shot from Hart. Quick ball though for Peacock. Mack accelerates through the contact. Still looking to battle to his feet. Not held, says the referee.
Wow, that boy can move.
But what a turnover. And what a man to nick it back as well. Dan Crooks off his wing. And Esher lose 10 yards as well. Both sides have been penalised now for a bit of back chat. And both captains are going to be spoken to about said back chat.
Amazing how much this means to the boys though, Wilfred. You can tell, I mean, a little bit of chat here and there, but you can just tell the passion coming from both teams. Amazing to see.
Indeed, it's a hotly contested affair. Esher beaten twice already by Hove, of course, throughout the season, but form means very little coming into a final. And they'll look for the corner while Hove is still getting set. Touch found just shy of halfway. And Harlequins community ball boy is a former Ospreys London Irish professional, now coach of London Irish women's team, who will be in the PWR very soon. And yet here he is climbing the steps to reclaim the ball, nudged off the field. Good work from Harlequins. They've got them all putting in the shift.
What a legend.
Stolen by Esher at the line out. And Peacock is hammered home by O'Donnell. But Esher have it back again.
Get up, boys. Hey.
Penalty. Hint of a high shot there. A harsh one for Graham to deal with. Smith will go searching for the touchline again.
Seems like one of those games, Wilfred, that the lower the error count, the better.
That's the high tackle call. Tough one for Graham, but he's a lengthy figure, a long way down for him. Smith running the show so far, the fly half. Jacob Bantz with a throw.
Does he have Banto?
Overthrown, but collected at the back of the line out very well. Smith directing traffic. Here's Mack. Of course he'll have a go once again at the line. Bantz, what a carry by the hooker. Wins another penalty. And again, too many penalties in this first half for both teams. That'll be something for them to work on as we approach half-time. 10 minutes to play. And as early summer days turn into peaceful nights here at Twickenham, there is still so much to be played for here. Smith is going to have his third shot of a penalty. 2 off target so far by a very narrow margin.
He's got the distance every single time. I think he's just finding himself in the accuracy stuff.
Smith, the hero of the semi-finals. Cutting through the roar of the 747 above us. This time finds his mark. 17-5. He should go further ahead.
Yeah, that'll do his confidence some good. Getting that one over will definitely lift his head, and definitely the Esher boys as well.
This is the penalty. It is high. Hathaway's got to get lower there. Chance for Hove to respond before half-time. Great nudge from Smith. Depth on the kick. Up to the 22, but a good chase in tow. Matt collects it well. And then it's chopped down. Brilliant run by Rawlington, the try scorer. A little bit short-handed on this short side. Miscommunication in the backfield, are coming together between two men in maroon and blue. We'll hand the ball back for Esher. It wasn't the perfect kick, Toby, but it's worked out for Esher. It's a difficult one.
Yeah, both very eager to get on the ball and make something happen. So yeah, I think that we just need to get on this ball and make something happen, make a big moment and impact this game.
How about that hit off the once the whistle had gone? Scrum for Esher.
A lot of space in the backfield if we can see it.
Mack out the back and floated wide.
Great shot.
Sava.
Get up!
Dancing through.
Good, off you go.
Dispossessed.
Off you go.
And now Bush puts it over the top. Esher looking to transition into defence. They have claimed the ball, but a slip in the backfield will allow Crooks to get all over it. And Crooks has stolen it, and Hove have it. But then it's knocked on. Still a good end result that for Hove.
Yeah, Eddie Bush really quick thinking, kicking it over the top and then just getting that ground position.
Scrum on the 5 metre. A difficult one for Esher to deal with here. We'll tell you what's the play here. Surely the big boot of Oscar Smith is going to come into play.
Yeah, he's got to get this ball gone, hasn't he? I think he'll definitely look for touch. They can rebuild again.
Can Hove put some pressure on in the front row? O'Donnell, Hart and Lenton. Upended this time by Esher. Here's Mack.
Oh, they're
straight down
play.
the middle. His offload is loose.
Let's go,
and
let's play,
Baldwin
let's
has
play.
it. Esher playing with fire. Almost burnt themselves. Ball back on the inside to Bush. Still battling away here, Bush. He's driven towards touch. He flicks it out the back door, but the flag is up.
Another amazing D set from Esher.
Another tough set piece, though, for Dylan Samuel to lead. The captain in the second row. They're going to stick Louis Graham up the front. Cardinal Newman lad, off to Brighton College, though, next year.
I'll miss you, Lou.
It's a good line out. It's a really good throw from Bance. And they crash up the field through Ross again. Compact little carrier. Clearance kick is a decent one, up to the 22. Still a chance for Hove to put the pressure on. But they're running out of time here. And if they spend this much time in Esher's 22 without points, it'll be a really tough one for them to take.
Yeah, definitely. Building massive pressure here. We just got to get over whatever points, just get it on the board and then rebuild again. But we're looking good. I think a big punch-up carry here, get a bit of front football and then play.
Excellent take off the base of the line out and then just dinked in behind. It's a lovely move on the turn. They get it away, but Bush is caught by Sava. Excellent line speed from Castor Sava. Hove scramble to win it back. Brilliant line speed again from Esher.
They've clearly heard his name's Pickle.
Peacock. Nice run from the captain, Graham. Hathaway spreads it out, hint of an interception, but look at the celebration from Reggie Hart!
Yeah, boys! Way!
Griffin Hathaway just teased Esher with the long pass. There was half a chance for the interception, but once Reggie Hart was in space, he was absolutely off to the races.
There is no stopping Reggie from there, is there?
I mean, look at the acceleration. Once the hooker gets onto the ball here, he is straight off the blocks.
Massive shout out to Griff Hathaway there. The ball across the face of the defenders, teasing the defenders to bite and straight in for Reggie. Well done, Reg.
Big score before the break for Hove, who could go within 5 with a very kickable conversion here. It's another low rising kick from the fullback, Eddie Bush, but he knocked it over. Reggie Hart flies through for Hove. What a pill that is. You had to go for that intercept if you're an Esher defender. There's no way that's being floated in front of you. You're not having a go.
Yeah, I get a feeling Griff Hathaway is going to send that one to Finn Russell after this and just see what he thinks about it.
Here comes the response from Esher. Twice they've won it back from the kickoff. This time it's allowed to go. It will be a line out just outside the 22.
It's amazing what a final can do to players, Wilfred. How some people really do lift their level to it.
With the way that club rugby goes, of course we've got a huge Colts final tomorrow at under 18 level. Some of these players may not be given the chance to represent their club as often as they like when they head into sixth form. So this is a huge game for a group of players that have been together for a very long time, at least in Hove's case. Line out one by Munsinger Ray. Baldwin, they're going to step away, but Mack handles him. Direct from Will McDonald. Chance to exit. Chance down! And it'll pop up for Esher here! Esher on the board again. And not for the first time, Hove have been caught trying to play a little bit too quick for their own comfort.
Yeah, it looks like the boys are looking to play again here. I think we're going to start to look at box kicking this ball a bit more, just a bit more of an easy out.
He's not very deep in the pocket at all there. Griffin Hathaway, very easy to save from up here, of course. But yeah, certainly was catchable, the kick. It's a great effort to charge it down and to follow through as well and dot down for Esher. 22-12, the scoreline through which Esher were defeated by Hove earlier in the season has now been reversed on the stroke at half-time. Smith looking to add 2 more. He has nudged over all 3 of his conversions from tries scored today. Oh, just curls wide. His 4th kick will not go over. Great charge down. Didn't even think about going to deck. Straight onto the ball. Esher score. Now, I'm doing my best to identify the Esher players as they go, but there are a couple who look very similar. Unable to distinct the exact try scorer, but a great effort. Oh, well, there's a coming together there from the kickoff, and indeed the penalty is going to go Esher's way. They are going to have a conversation, but I'm not sure if there's anything more in that from an initial perspective. 2 players going for the ball. Well, it looked like a decent exit platform, certainly, from Hove. And then in came the charge down.
Yeah, the intent off the line again. The intent off the line, really, really quick off the line, putting pressure on 10.
Well, Mack has got straight back to his feet. There's a conversation to be had in the middle there with the 2 skippers. The penalty count has been getting pretty high. Toby, so if there was a card here, it'd be more for accumulation than anything. I think that's one final warning for both teams.
Yeah, that'll be definitely something they'll be talking about at half-time. Definitely for the coaches to have a word with the boys and just drop the penalty count.
Smith to pick out the touchline.
That's a good kick.
Right on beyond halfway, and a line out for Jacob Bantz. Big moment in the game for Hove. They go another try down before half-time. It's more of a mountain than a molehill for them to climb.
Get up,
Contest in the air. Peacock inside for Smith. Plenty of willing runners to go straight up the gut. Counter ruck.
Great rucking
from Hove. Peacock forced to snipe. Hunting Array to deck.
Get up!
And
Get up!
Back to the open side. Good carry from Bantz. Looking to wriggle out of trouble here. Esher. Plenty of phase in the midfield. Double shot.
Great shot.
Baldwin gets up over the gain line.
Need more of that.
Cross field. It's a lovely kick. Well taken in the backfield by Griffin Hathaway. And Hathaway is on his dancing shoes. Finds his longtime partner Hughes, who played together for 11 years in total. Crooks does really well to stay in field.
If they can see it, there's space out wide if they can get there.
Man pinned in there, Hughes. Hathaway looks to go through the forwards, but it is just behind him. And this is a game of fine margins. And that's a very close call there. If he holds on to that, well, there's a serious chance building for Hove, as you spotted on that far side.
Yeah, really good option. Just unfortunate ball didn't go to hand. You got 3 options there, straight across the face to Pickle as well if he needed it.
I think he was looking to go out the back there. Really close one. As the temperature continues to drop. Only heating up out there in the midfield. Esher scrum. Everyone floating away to the right. Penalty at scrum time. And they take it quickly. And here's Mack. Hathaway gets a hold of him, but it's a good offload. Cartwright gets around quickly, but Esher again are threatening.
We've got to keep him out here. This will be big for them to score 1 more before the break. Got to keep him out.
Flashed all the way across.
Great shot.
Sather dealt with. He is a live wire.
Get up, get up, get up!
Good defence from Hove. Slow ball, but they're well set here, Esher. Smith, Mack. Half a hole in midfield, and a big fend to open up some space. Great carry up to the 22. Quick ball for Peacock. Smith, Mack through 2 defenders. How close to the touchline was that? In the end, it's Sydney Harris who puts in the big shot. And the young bull has dragged Hove over the line as we head into the break.
That is a massive, massive moment before the half. That'll be really big going into half-time. Go and regroup, get back out there and show your Hove passion, boys. Way!
Esher on the front foot. They lead by 22-12. This is the defensive shift that when all is said and done, we may be looking back on rather fondly if you're in maroon and blue today. Mack with a brilliant break, and across comes Harris to make a huge shot.
You'll like watching that one back, Wilfred.
So a fantastic performance in the first half by Esher, looking to avenge 2 defeats in the regular season to the favourites Hove, who trail at the break by 22-12. I'll throw you down to Angus Savage, who is pitch side.
Thank you very much, Wilf. Well, fascinating first half here at the Stoop. Esher have been absolutely superb. Hove came back well, but they've got some work to do. Esher enjoying their time here at the home of Harlequins. And of course, there are so many links between Esher and Harlequins. They share so many players out on loan, not least of whom is Gerald Gorleku, the outstanding young front rower, trying to be a hooker, but he can play all over the front row. Such is his quality. Just one of many players that have shared stories across Esher and Harlequins, and it is Esher that are leading and playing superbly well. But we've seen plenty from Hove as well. Wilfred Rawlinson with that fantastic try, but we've seen some great work from Esher, and in particular their fly half, Oscar Smith, enjoying his time here on this pristine surface here at the Stoop. It really is a wonderful, wonderful venue and a wonderful surface to play on. And it's surface that's going to be played on over the course of the next 24 hours again, because tomorrow we return here to the Stoop for the last of the 2026 Quins Cup finals. It is the Colts final, the under-18s, Dorking against Cobham in a 7 o'clock kickoff. That is set to be an absolute ripper. That Colts final over the years has never failed to live up to expectations. We have seen some absolutely superb games, including that epic draw between Rosslyn Park and Guildford 2 years ago. Guildford, who went on to avenge that by beating Rosslyn Park the following year, although I should say it was Wimbledon that Rosslyn Park played in that draw. But anyway, today we are in under 16s territory, and it is going very nicely for Esher. They lead at the break 22 points to 12. They've scored some fantastic tries. Hove have got a couple of their own as well, though, and we have a fascinating second 35 minutes coming up. As we saw in that first game, anything can happen in the second half. That first game, it was so tight between Hove and Sutton and Epsom, and then in the second half, Hove just blasted Sutton and Epsom away with a superb display in that second half. So here, could we see something similar? Might one of these two sides, Hove or Esher, pull away and make this one a little more comfortable, or will it stay tight? Will Esher, as they have done time and time again when in a tight game, find a way to get to victory? They're in pole position at the moment, but Hove aren't going to be going anywhere. A massive, massive second half coming up. Two sets of players look as though they are kind of done with half time, but there is an injury on the field at the moment, so we've got a little longer to just take ourselves through this. Although Brighton, as you might, or Hove, I should say, as you might be able to see over my left-hand shoulder, have formed up. They are ready and raring to go, and little wonder, because they've got a job to do here. They've got a 10-point deficit to overcome. Over on the far side, Esher aren't quite ready yet, and I think Hove have just cottoned on as the stretcher comes on that we might have to hang around a little bit longer. But hey, a little bit longer gives us time to reflect on what has been the most incredible series of Quins Cup games. It's been absolutely brilliant over the course of the last few weeks. As we look over a couple of the highlights from the first half, we reflect on this last couple of weeks of Quins Cup finals, where it all started out with the under-14 girls, where Barnes took victory in that opening final. Then Wimbledon beat Old Reigatians in the under-16 girls final, backed up the following evening by their senior side, the under-18 girls of Wimbledon, beating Old Reigatians live here on Next Gen Live. And then this week, it's the turn of the boys, and we saw earlier Hove with that superb performance against Sutton Epsom. But Hove are behind here by 10 points against Esher, and with plenty of work to do. And as I mentioned before, it all rounds off tomorrow night, 7 o'clock kickoff, Dorking against Cobham in the Colts final of the Quins Cup. So there is plenty yet to come, but it has been the most superb couple of weeks of rugby here at the home of Harlequins, the Stoop, in the most famous of rugby towns in this country, Twickenham, in the bowels of Allianz Stadium. Now we're just waiting a little while, but it does give us a chance to chat about some of the referees that you will have seen over the course of the last couple of weeks as well. The young match officials, group of teenage referees that are being brought through the ranks through the young match official program, supported by London Society of Referees and by Surrey Rugby as well, and indeed Harlequins. And we're going to bring through the next generation of rugby referees, very young ones we've had out tonight who've been doing a superb job with what has been a very high level of rugby being played around them. Tomorrow night, you'll be pleased to know we're miking up the referees as we would normally do for a senior game, because it's under-18s rugby and a slightly older yet still young match official group of referees taking us through tomorrow's Dorking versus Cobham game, 7 o'clock kickoff, that one. So we still await kickoff in the second half. Quite rightly, the medical teams are taking care of the injured player in the Esher half of the field. Hove just running the old classic pop the ball through the hands drill, and Esher have decided to join in with that one as well. Esher have had some fantastic players in recent times, but perhaps their most interesting addition has been off the field, where Mike Brown joined their coaching setup over the early season. Mike Brown, the former Harlequin, of course, now heavily involved with Esher. It's a club with so many links to what is going on here at the Stoop, the home of Harlequins, the home of Harlequins women as well, who've been ticking along quite nicely. They've got a game against London Irish coming up actually, and not too long. Harlequins men, on the other hand, finding life a little tough, but what they've always been so good at, Harlequins, is bringing through young players, isn't it? It's one of the great sights we get to see with Harlequins, is their use of young players. We've seen in recent times sort of fringe players like Cassius Cleves, Jamie Benson starting to come through. Jamie Benson, of course, off to Ireland this summer to Ulster to try and press his claims for an Irish jersey. I wouldn't be too surprised if the young Harlequin starlet ends up playing for Harlequins. Benson, of course, a product of Hampton School, where he crafted his trade under the guidance of Sean Thompson, who's now at Seaford College. Seaford College, who, of course, we've had so many good times with here on Next Gen Live, not least the Seaford 10s earlier in the season, of which plenty of players in tomorrow's Dorking versus Cobham match will have been involved. But just thinking about some of those young talents we've seen come through here at Harlequins, you might remember Marcus Smith breaking through into the Harlequins setup as a teenager, an 18-year-old, starring here for Harlequins while still a Brighton College pupil. He was fantastic. In fact, you know what, I've been told I'm allowed to walk onto the pitch, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We might as well go and get ourselves in amongst what's happening out here on field. But yeah, they've always been a superb club for bringing through young talent. The likes of Joe Marley, you'll remember from years ago when he first burst through, how many teams would have given a young 18-year-old prop that amount of game time? But Harlequins, always with their faith in youth, have been prepared to do just that, and will continue to be. Oh, it's nice and bright out here in the middle of the pitch. These floodlights work, don't they? That's fantastic. No doubt you're getting plenty of glare off the top of this dome of mine. Hove here just running through a couple of handling drills as they get themselves ready for the second half. Sorry, fly landing on my cheek. It's the temperature has dropped substantially. It is that time of year, isn't it? Mid-April, where you suddenly get the shift from one temperature to another as the sun sets. And we just see here Esher are also running through similar drills. We'll We will see how they're getting on in time to come. It's very tempting to grab a half-time interview, but I think we should probably leave the players to it, although the temptation to just drag someone out is always high. Referee's back out in the middle of the field. He's looking as though he's hoping to get underway nice and soon, but we could have a little weight on our hands, so we'll just keep having a wander. Why don't we go and see what the crowd are up to on the far side. I tell you what, as I walk out of the bright lights here at the stoop, it's into the darkness where the crowd are sitting. It's quite the contrast. We'll see who we can find. We might be able to find a few of the Hove under-15s actually, and get a word or two from them on how they found their under-15 triumph. We're going to test the range of our technology, because we might as well get ourselves right in amongst the crowds. So let's go for it. Let's test the skills of our camera operator. Who fancies a chat with us here in the crowd? I can see some young lads with some pizzas, and you never know, they might get a slice out of this. This could be fantastic. How are we doing, lads? Enjoy yourselves?
Yeah, I'm very much enjoying myself.
Enjoy the under-15s triumph earlier?
Oh yeah, pretty good game.
Strong side, strong side. Strong Esher side in this under-16s game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's good. Love watching it.
I'm very jealous of this pizza. What flavour have we gone for?
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni. You can't go wrong with a good slice of pepperoni, can you? Right, this young man needs to chat with me as well, because he's got a Fanta and a Kit Kat. That looks like a nice way to spend the evening.
So what do you want me to talk about?
Hey, we'll talk about anything. How's school going?
Well, that's fine. The main issue is I need to see Hove win and they're not, which is annoying. I wish I could just go up to them and tell them what they should do, but I can't.
Well, what do you think they should do?
I think the other team's stronger, so we just should play side, 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 side.
Get the ball wide to wide.
I don't make decisions.
Well, hey, perhaps you should. You've got some good ideas there. The Quins way, by the sounds of things. Just go wide. Let's get Marcus Smith out there. That would help. Tell me this. Can Hove turn this one around?
Yes, I think they can if they try hard enough. We got this.
Solid work. You've got a future in this job, my friend. You've got a future in this. Right, let's see where we can get to next. Over the tape we go. Testing the agility of our camera. By the way, our camera operator deserves full credit for hurdling all of that. Right, who else wants a chat with us? Let's see what we can find. We are actually walking straight into the darkness around us. Sorry. We're bumping into all sorts of people. Let's see where we can get to. These might be some of the Hove under-15s actually. In fact, we're going to grab another word with the Hove under-15s captain. We've spoken to you already, but do we need a bit of your leadership out there for the 16s?
Well, yeah, it's quite a tight game today. I think needs a lot of team talk and motivation to lead them throughout this next half, yeah.
And we've got the man of the match behind you as well. Can we just get a look at the... can you pop your hat on for us? Let's have a look at this. That is a pretty good keepsake. How do you enjoy the game?
Yeah, it was all right. It was good.
It was all right. It was good. Come on, it was surely better than that.
Yeah, it was good. I feel like I didn't get the ball enough, to be honest. I'm joking.
Must have got a decent amount of it. You got man of the match, mate.
We all played well. Yeah, it was good.
Fantastic. Cheers, guys. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Didn't get the ball enough. He got man of the match. What more do you want? Right, we still have, I mean, it is a nasty injury on field. We're hoping that everything is just precautionary, but of course the medics are rightly taking their time. Look at this, we've got two people straight out of LA here. How are we doing, guys?
Hi, I'm doing amazing.
How about you?
Absolutely amazing.
Who are we supporting tonight? Who are you supporting tonight?
Hove.
Hove yourself?
Up the Hove all the way.
Up the Hove all the way. I feel like we're in the bleachers at the Lakers game today with these two. Fantastic, but everyone's enjoying themselves. Now, we've not passed a lot of Esher fans, it has to be said, but I'm assuming that Esher must be down at the other end. So it's Hove that are getting the bigger claim at the moment. Oh, here we go. We've got some. Are we Esher fans by any chance? Oh, fantastic! Been a good first half, this, isn't it?
Yeah, great first half.
Boys are playing well. Who is our favourite player? Oh, that's an embarrassing question, isn't it? We can't be asking one like that.
It'll be Kobe Mack.
Kobe Mack, he's playing well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great player. One to watch out for.
He certainly is one to watch out for. Obviously, a long injury break. We're hoping the lad's all right, but you'll know as well as anyone, I'm sure, that these can be tricky moments to handle. Do you think the boys have got it in the locker mentally to just keep themselves switched on?
Definitely, yeah. I reckon Esher will come home with the win today.
Sounds like it. Esher for the win?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
4 out of 4 for Esher wins, although one of the 4 ran away, so we'll never know. He's got all the way up top. Here, look at this. What's this? Don't tackle Ollie unless you're a Wally. How very PC. Right, it looks to me as though our injured player has thankfully made their way off pitch. We hope that they're okay. They're getting a huge round of applause from all the supporters here on the far touchline. So I think we will be just about underway for the second half in a couple of moments' time, which means that I can return you to the wonderful Wilf Kemsley alongside Toby Gale on co-commentary for commentary on the second half of Hove versus Esher in the under-16 boys Quins Cup final.
So, Angus has chucked us back up into comms because we are finding out the parameters for the second half. Of course, we've got to be out of the stadium by a certain time, unfortunately. So we will know exactly what the second half entails once Angus, who's also down there fishing for information, finds out.
Yeah, interesting at half-time from Esher. A bit of aura farming, going back into their changing room for 2 minutes and coming back out. I can't believe there's a lot said in there.
Well, the information we're hearing at the moment is that the game might be abandoned because unfortunately they cannot have a second injury of such drastic nature with an ambulance no longer on site because the ambulance has left with the injured player. Now, usually there would be a second ambulance called to the site, but given how late it is in the day, given our location here in Twickenham, it is very unlikely that they'll be able to get another ambulance, and that is the discussion that is going on at the moment. On the halfway line, as you can see, you've got representatives from Quins, from Surrey, and from both camps as well. Obviously, we want the game to be played.
Absolutely.
But player safety is always paramount, and while the player who went down is being taken straight to hospital and receiving all the treatment they need, we really can't risk the medics and the equipment that has gone to the hospital not being here if a similar incident occurs. It would be disappointing, but well, this game is not one without risks, and it is something that we have to contend with all the time here at age grade level. It's interesting, Toby, because as a teacher, as an educator, as a coach, but also as a player, you can see both sides of this. You can see how desperate these players are to get back underway, but also you completely understand the safety is paramount.
Completely understand it, Wilfred. Yeah, we're in a game, fortunately or unfortunately, that obviously injuries take place. Obviously there's been quite a few tonight, so definitely player welfare comes first. The boys will be gutted, but I'm sure they'll stick together like they always do.
Well, we will know imminently what the decision is, because of course the players will be the first to know. I'm just waiting for exact confirmation. Angus is down there at the moment discussing with representatives from Surrey. And I think the message being imparted to the players is that this game can't continue. Well, if you are joining us looking for the second half of Esher against Hove, I think we are about to know for certain whether or not this game is going to go ahead. And I think you can probably tell by the disappointed faces on the field that this game is going to be cancelled. Well, Toby, it's just one of those things you can't legislate for. You just can't predict. And we certainly can't continue without the medical staff that are required here. And also, I mean, for those Esher players, it's very difficult to have a teammate go down with such a serious injury, such a young age. And, you know, I think you've got to look at the mental factor of this as well, which you'll know well from your coaching days, how much of an impact something like that can have on a team. It would be really, you know, coming close to unfair to continue.
Yeah, completely agree. I think it's 50-50. I think the physical side of the rugby is massive. I think that's 50% of it. I also think the mental side is just as important. So, yeah, if the mentality's not there and they've had a good half an hour now where they've just been standing around in the cold, I think it's best that they call the game.
Another good point, of course. It's, to restart the game from practically a standing start would also be dangerous. There's certainly long conversations, and I think Angus is about to receive the final word from the organisers. And once we know for certain the game is abandoned, then we can convey that message to you.
I'm absolutely gutted, Wilfred. I was ready for another crack of 35 minutes.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a stunning first half. What a performance by Esher. But I'm hoping that we're about to receive the required information. Well, that is the closing statement. I've just heard from the producers down below that the game has unfortunately been abandoned following a serious injury at the end of the first half from one of the Esher players that required serious medical attention, serious enough for the player to go to hospital. Unfortunately, with the lack of an ambulance on site, we will not be able to continue the final. That's the official bearing, but of course, Toby, we've discussed a couple of features, a couple of factors that have played into that decision. The big gap in play, of course. We've had the mental side of these Esher players having to witness and deal with that injury to a friend and a teammate, and also, of course, the lack of equipment and staff and the ambulance itself now that it is already being used.
Yeah, looking at the positive side of it, next time they come to a final, they'll probably start a bit quicker, the Hove boys. I don't think we saw the best of them tonight, but that's unfortunate, and they'll go again. As I say, with myself and Jake next to me, the head coach of the Colts, we'll get some of these boys through next year, and we'll give it a real crack again.
Of course, this is just the end of a chapter, and certainly not the end of the tale for any of these players in their rugby career. And of course, our thoughts go out to the injured Esher player, wishing them all the best and a speedy recovery from the injury, regardless of if it was a precaution or a certain need to receive that extra medical attention. Well, to wrap up this evening, even if it is on a slightly dampened note, from myself, Wilf Kemsley, and of course my co-commentator Toby Gale, good night. But before you go anywhere, let's hear from Angus Savage, who is pitchside.
Thank you very much, Wilf. Yeah, a really sad and sorry ending to the evening, and I think all thoughts really primarily are with the injured Esher player, a really unfortunate looking injury. Hopefully everything just an abundance of caution, but we of course we'll be thinking of him and hoping that he is okay. The ambulance quite rightly taking him to where he needed to be, which is hospital. And as you've mentioned, Wilf, that leaves us without an ambulance here at the ground. So quite rightly, the only decision that could be taken is to abandon the game. But as you pointed out in commentary as well, the positive note is that players here have had 40 minutes or 35 minutes to experience playing at the Stoop, the home of Harlequins. They've got to enjoy playing in front of what has been a really fantastic crowd. And they got a really good half of rugby out of it. And of course, this not the final chapter in their story. They will play together as Colts next year, in fact over the next couple of years, and as under-17s for a few as well. But yeah, a sorry note to end things on. We're not going to capture a word with anyone really, I don't think, because it's a bit of a tough one for Esher, who are obviously leading the game, but they've got their mate who's in a bit of a tough state, and Hove quite rightly respecting that as well. On a more positive note, we've got more live action for you tomorrow. As we've mentioned plenty of times, 7 o'clock kickoff tomorrow, right back here where we are tonight, the Stoop, home of Harlequins, for Dorking versus Cobham. That is the under-18, the Colts Quins Cup final, I should say. Crikey, that is a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? The under-18 boys, the Colts Quins Cup final. There we go. We can do it. We can do it. I wasn't ready to speak yet. That's the trouble. But another fantastic event here, laid on brilliantly by Surrey and by Harlequins. Congratulations to all the sides that participated this evening. Sutton and Epsom and Hove in that under-15 final. A superb performance from Hove, and then Esher and Hove again in this under-16s final. It's been a wonderful evening. Ends on a tough note, and our thoughts, of course, are with the Esher player. So it is going to be good night from us, but do join us again tomorrow evening. As I say, 7 o'clock kickoff, Dorking versus Cobham in that Quins Cup Colts final tomorrow night. It should be a fantastic evening of rugby. We will leave you with the tries here from the Stoop, and we will see you again live tomorrow evening. Thank you very much for joining us. you.